I like that one. Pearl Jam, You Are, and that's how we begin today with Doug Benson. What's going on, Doug? Doug loves movies.
I'm here for my annual 12 Guests of Christmas episode of Doug Loves Movies tonight at the Gramercy. It's been sold out for months.
Right.
But still wanted to come by and hang out with you in the afternoon.
Thank you, Doug.
I like it.
I like when people come in and say, look, I have nothing to promote. I just want to come by and say hi.
I had a lot of fun the last time I was here. That's when I got Jerry Cooney to punch Theo Vaughn.
Right.
And that was super fun.
That was the last time you were here?
I don't know if we're going to get any of that kind of action today. It's just the two of us.
Well, we'll do okay. I mean, Sherrod Small was supposed to come in. I don't know what's going on with him. I texted him and said, are you coming? That's always good to do at 5 minutes before the show starts.
Which one of his burners did you text?
He did lose his phone, so I had to go through his girlfriend for a little bit there.
Really?
But I think he's... no, I know he's back because he wrote me yesterday asking about my Thanksgiving. We had a lovely conversation yesterday. It started with him going, hey, how was your Thanksgiving? Did you go to Philly? And I went, Thanksgiving was great. Stayed local, then went fishing. How about you? And then it continued from there. A nice little conversation. And now today, he's MIA.
Does he, when he doesn't show up to something, is it because he forgot about it?
I don't know. I mean, he
always has various reasons.
I've never asked him for a reason. He's one of those guys that I like so much and like doing radio with that he doesn't need a reason.
But he doesn't even have to get up early now.
I know. This is like the perfect time for you comedians. He had an excuse when it was early in the morning, but now it's like...
Well, the trouble with 3 o'clock is around 2, I start getting nappy. Right. I start wanting to take a little siesta.
I understand the nappy thing.
So I still have to work up some energy.
Yeah, that's when I started my nappies.
But that's the cold walk over here was great.
It's cold for you? It's a nice day.
For me it is, yeah. For you guys it's nice.
Oh, God.
I see people walking around in T-shirts. I'm like, good for you.
This is...
I'm glad you love this.
This is great.
50 degrees is great.
I'm glad Mr. Trump doesn't believe in global warming. This rules. That means for the rest of our lives, it's going to be nice and toasty in the winter. We're not going to fucking fix anything.
Our lives.
Oh, that's about it.
The man with children said.
Well...
Just get him used to, warmer weather,
Yeah, I try to explain to him that it used to be different.
Vacation in Arizona or Nevada in the summertime with the kids. Get them used to it.
There you go. That would be nice. Yeah. So you walked in with an H&M bag, and I was trying to turn you on to the Abercrombie & Fitch bags. Now you get it, right?
Right. Well, I thought you were, saying I was less than a man for walking around with an H&M bag, even though I don't even know what H&M is. I'm just using their bag. But then you showed me Abercrombie & Fitch's bags, and that is the gayest bag a person can
it's pretty much
walk around with.
I would say that's soft core gay porn. What is you?
It's a bit much. It's a bit much to be walking around with it on a bag. But if you're a lady, I guess you don't mind. But why would it?
I finally had.
What kind of stuff do they sell in there?
They used to sell really nice jeans. I was still shopping at Abercrombie & Fitch way too many years past my prime. But
I finally had a shirtless guy at the door when you walked in?
Yes, I finally had to tap out between the shirtless guy and the
because they don't have that anymore. I don't think.
And the sexy cologne in the air and the club music where you can't even get anyone to help you because they're just dancing around the store. And then if you do get somebody, you're screaming at them because you can't hear shit. I finally had to give up, Doug.
Yeah.
I had to acknowledge that I'm a bit on the older side, and maybe Abercrombie & Fitch has passed me by.
I never gave in. I don't think I ever even wandered into one.
No?
I was just always like, those are sweaters for people who work out.
Well,
that's the kind of clothes they sell. Like you got it, it's a tight sweater.
Yeah, that was the problem. That was the problem too. It wasn't real sizes. It wasn't real sizes. Everything was meant for a twink. So I don't know if Sherrod's going to make it. Let me look again. Yeah, nothing's coming in. That's not good. Sherrod asked me, he goes, look, with the new show, I want to do every Monday. And I'm trying to get a set schedule with this radio show.
I even saw a tweet, Sherrod on a Monday. I can't wait. Some fan out there is disappointed right now.
Of course he is, because Sherrod called it. He's like, he didn't ask me. He goes, I'm taking Mondays. So it'll be Sherrod on Monday. And
Here we are. Is this the first one?
that he's missed?
Yeah.
No. Look at Paul behind you. No. He's missed a few there. He's missed a few Mondays. And I don't want to make the Monday joke because I like Sherrod Small.
What is it?
You know the Monday joke. Forget it. I'm not racist, Paul, so I'm not going to fucking say it. I just know there's a Monday joke out there. How was your Thanksgiving, Doug?
I'm trying to think of a racist Monday joke.
You don't know the racist Monday joke?
I can't think of it.
All right. I'm not going to be the one.
Is it like some sort of laziness joke or something?
Well, I mean, aren't most racist jokes
I guess so.
lean toward
That's
laziness?
one of the traits that the racists like to hit on.
Right. Yes, they do.
All right. Hey, do you know how much Bert Kreischer weighs?
I do.
Did you see his tweet? He tweeted.
I saw the video.
He tweeted himself on the scale. It was the best day I've had this year when I saw that.
Why the hell are we talking about Bert Kreischer?
Because hashtag Bert is fat, but also because.
Wait, you're team Tom Segura?
No, I'm team both of them. I love both those guys, and I never understood why they were calling each other fat. But now Bert's really seriously trying to lose weight.
Right.
And it made me so happy when I saw how much he weighed, because I thought we probably weighed around the same, me and Bert. But he's 50 pounds. There, how much is that?
239.6 pounds.
Oh, he's doing pretty good then. The last time I saw it, it was 240 something.
Oh, I didn't see the 239. I saw the one where his wife looked disgusted. Did you see that one?
Nuh-uh.
Why am I watching Bert Kreischer? I know why I am.
Might
because
go
he's
up and
entertaining
down.
as all hell.
Yeah, his weight might go up and down. There also, somebody posted a picture on Twitter of on his cable TV when he played back Bert's recent special. It said Rambo at the bottom. There's the picture right there.
Yeah.
Instead of Bert Kreischer, it said they were watching Rambo.
Don't you think it takes balls to do a special with your shirt off?
Yeah. I mean, I'm disgusted by it. Like when he does Doug Lowe's movies, he takes his shirt off, and it makes him more comfortable on stage. But I find it's very strange to me.
Oh, I don't find it strange. I find it hilarious that someone has that much confidence that they'll just take their.
I can't concentrate on what he's saying because I'm just like, put his shirt on, man.
He comes in here, takes his shirt off immediately, starts drinking Tito's vodka. Then we
drunk and shirtless. That's his happy place.
And then we get to a point where we're singing songs, and he picks up the guitar. Did you see his midget wrestling impression?
No, you have it?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'll be honest with you. I don't expect every one of my videos to do well, but this one should be doing much better.
What's it at? How many's it got?
It's doing okay. I don't know. It's around
7,000 people sat
We're
through
getting
it.
there.
You have to sit through this commercial first.
Yeah, maybe I should get rid of the commercials. Maybe that would help the views, huh?
I don't know. Isn't there a thing you click on to skip the commercial?
Not this one. Every once in a while they give you one where you got to sit through it.
The match. I used to do a really good midget wrestling impression.
Wait,
Yes, yes, you did. Here, hold on.
Are you going to run around? Hey,
Just got to take everything off.
We got Bert Kreischer. Are you taking your shirt off for this? All right, he's taking his shirt off for this. This is a visual, but it'll certainly be on the YouTube channel.
Oh, no. It's kind of more like a monkey impression at one point.
I thought it looked like a midget wrestler. I remember when Andre the Giant used to wrestle midgets, and that was pretty much how it looked. And then Andre the Giant, God, we come from a different time. We come from a different time. Andre the Giant would wrestle 3 midgets, and by the end of the match, he would stack them up in the middle of the ring and then sit on it like a throne. You think they would be able to get away with that these days?
He'd say, anybody want a peanut?
What?
That's his line in Princess Bride.
Oh, Christ. I forgot I'm with the movie guy.
Can't bring him up without me thinking of anybody want a peanut.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Someone want a peanut. I don't know the exact quote, but I'm sure Eric Nagel knows it.
I saw, I showed my son and my daughter Home Alone for the first time. That's kind of cool when your kids finally get to an age.
Why, are you going to go on a vacation and leave them? Leave them in the house? Kids, here are some string and some paint cans. Have a good weekend.
That would be nice. But besides the film flubs in the movie, the film flubs are driving me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You know when the iron falls and hits Daniel Stern in the head? The point of the iron hits him on the top of the head, and then he gets up and he has a whole iron print on his face. It drives me nuts every time I see the movie.
Because it's more comical in both cases. In the case of hitting him in the head, it's funnier if the pointy end hits.
Is that why?
And then on his face, it's funnier that there's the shape of an iron on his face.
That's a John Hughes movie, right?
Yeah.
How about John Hughes was lazy and didn't go for another take or two?
That movie's, how long is that movie? It's like a good 2 hours.
No, the first one isn't as bad.
But it goes on. I mean, he just brutalizes the wet bandits for a long time.
Yes, the wet
bandits. And the setup's very long. The whole annoying family's there for way too long at the beginning.
You think?
Before he finally gets to be Home Alone, yeah.
Well, I mean...
Considering you knew going in it was called Home Alone.
Right. Are you trying to say he didn't have to set it up?
They didn't have to spend so much time.
It's right in the title?
Yeah.
So basically it should be, holy fuck, we overslept and then get him into a van?
We made too many kids, we're stupid asshole Catholics, something like that.
And then Buzz, who became a friend of ours, by the way, he used to do our show on NEW, and I believe he still does Anthony's show. There's a scene where he's shoving pizza in his mouth in the kitchen. And then the next cut is a side view and he has a full piece. Do you care about film flubs?
No,
it drives me and my brothers.
You know what's the worst about film flubs is that most Scorsese movies are full of them.
No,
yeah, because Scorsese would rather that the acting performance be the reason to choose an angle and a take than continuity.
Yeah,
so it happens all the times in his movies.
You just turned me on to something. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Do you know one off the top of your head?
No, but they, they're frequent. Like if you just looked up Scorsese,
yeah, we'll check it out.
Inconsistencies or something. De Palma also has some pretty bad ones. Like in The Untouchables, there's a scene where Sean Connery, his shirt it goes from button to unbuttoned over and over again throughout the scene. In The Untouchables, which is like every shot in that movie is like a painting,
right?
And then they fuck up that.
And they finally got a guy that's their whole job to make sure everything's set on the set.
It feels brutal when it's happening because I get to play an occasional part in something, and they spend all day taking Polaroids of you and just making sure everything's going to match.
Right.
But it's still, if you do 2 takes and the actor just decides to change elbows and nobody notices, then you've got an editing nightmare on your hands because you're not going to reshoot the scene just because of continuity.
We will watch, or we used to, me and my brothers, we would watch entire movies and then have a whole game pointing out the film flub. We would you could call it ahead of time. Like, a good example is if 2 actors are eating. You would go, okay, stop. So we stop the movie. And I go, okay, the water level in that glass is going to be up and down,
Beverages are hard to keep consistent. When someone's got shaving cream on their face, that never matches from moment to moment.
No. Can I tell you a couple other things about Home Alone? I know it's an old movie.
I love it. This is the season.
But, I mean,
it's Home Alone time.
I'm excited because it's the first time I've seen the movie in years, and I got to turn on my son and daughter.
Were they anxious to see the sequel?
Yeah. So we went with Home Alone 2, which that movie stinks in retrospect. The scene with the bird lady, I know whatever her name is.
Yeah. Respected actress.
Of course she is. I forgot her name.
Brenda something.
And I think she won an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
That scene takes you out of the fucking movie, especially if you're going for the kids to watch this thing. That scene is so long. He didn't like Home Alone 2 as much as Home Alone 1. And then my daughter at this point tapped out because she's younger. And then we went with Home Alone 3. Ooh. Wow,
Brenda Fricker.
I don't know because I actually go, look, before we order Home Alone 3, let's watch the preview. And he was the one that said, no, Dad, that looks
But at least the kid's
awful.
Back in a house with the paint cans and the whole deal, right?
Yeah,
it's just a different kid.
There's espionage or something. And
there was something about Macaulay Culkin was singularly cute. Like he wasn't annoyingly cute to like like a male, to men.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't cutesy, but he was cute.
Right.
And that kid, his scene in Uncle Buck where he and John Candy are going back and forth.
Oh, amazing!
Is one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
So good. He's so dry and so funny.
I think we'll watch Uncle Buck tonight. There you go.
Yeah, Uncle Buck really holds up. It's funny.
And he was younger in Uncle Buck because that came out before Home Alone.
That's where John Hughes first started working him was Uncle Buck, and then he went on to the Home Alone movies because he knew, like when you watch Uncle Buck, you just want to see more of that kid.
Right. So as I'm watching Home Alone, I'm also thinking, and you're the movie expert, so I want to bring this up. There's things they do in Home Alone. I was yelling out loud, actually, to my wife. I'm like, they would never fucking allow this nowadays. Like, there's a scene where Macaulay Culkin is just grabbing some chick's ass on the street, right? You remember that scene?
Why does he do that?
Because then she turns around and punches the wet bandits.
Oh, then that would still work.
You think they would allow a little kid to pinch a woman's ass
to get the bad guys punched in the face?
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay,
in a comedy, I think
enough.
so. But you're right; it's definitely more borderline. It'd be more shocking.
All right,
it's just like when they remade Bad News Bears, they softened everything. They ruined it. Absolutely ruined it.
At that point, you just don't make the movie.
Oh, look, the coach took the kids to Hooters. Right. Yeah, that's what coaches do.
Yeah.
There's kids in Hooters all the time.
Yeah. Well,
it's not that outlandish.
Well, but the kids weren't drinking beer anymore.
Yeah, they weren't doing anything.
They weren't drinking beer. I mean, he wasn't drunk driving, right? I think he was Billy Bob Thornton is drinking a soda at that point. Yeah, see, she turns around and then and punches
him.
And punches both of them.
That's a smart kid.
So you think that would be acceptable today?
Yeah,
okay.
She thinks she got away with assault.
What about when Macaulay Culkin goes in the bathroom and the cheapskate uncle is showering, and then the uncle calls him a pervert for being in there while he's showering? Would they allow that today?
Get out of here, you little pervert! Something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That seems like family fun. That's the sort of thing. Do you remember that movie? Oh, now I'm going to screw it up. Maybe it was called The Good Mother. It was Diane Keaton and Liam Neeson.
Oh, God, no.
And
I'm out already.
Yeah, right? And Liam Neeson's the boyfriend that stays over with the mom who's divorced, Yeah. And he just decides one day when the little kid says, "Hey, what's with that thing between your legs?" He decides to let the kid get a really good look at it and discuss it.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. And then the whole rest of the movie is about how she's an unfit mother and they're trying to take the kid away because she has a boyfriend that showed the kid a dick.
Yeah, I did not. I didn't see that. Was it a good movie?
It's intense. I don't think so. I think it's very melodramatic, but I just remember that.
So you see a lot of
storyline. I don't even remember if it was a little girl or a little boy. I assume it was a little girl, but
we're looking it up. The Good Mother penis.
The Good Mother. There you go.
That's a hell of a Google search. The good.
Yeah, you're on a list now for looking that up. I think
Bruce Jenner's going to pop up. That was hack. I got to say it. That was a little hacky.
Well, he is a lady with a penis.
Yeah, he's a lady with a penis.
It's a fact.
That's a fact, yes.
Okay.
So, all right. Guess what? No Sherrod Small, looks like.
Oh, really? Did he write back?
No. So I would assume
he's still got a 3-hour window.
You think?
Yeah, or he's still got 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Don't make me fucking, call Stuntbrain out of the bullpen for today. I'll do that shit. Where'd you go for Thanksgiving, Doug?
I went to San Diego, where I'm from originally, and that's where my mom still lives. So I do Thanksgiving, Christmas, and sometimes her birthday and other days like throughout the year. But I drive down from L.A. and I always take her to see a movie. She doesn't really go out much other than me showing up and taking her to see a movie.
So it's not a family thing?
No, it's just me and her. My dad passed away a few years ago, and other relatives are all spread out all over the country. But she loves San Diego, so she's happy to stay there. And we saw that Warren Beatty thing, Rules Don't Apply.
Was it good?
We always have to pick something that I can sit through with my mother.
That's not easy these days.
She never wants to see anything violent or aimed at kids.
Right.
And I never want to see, things that are too, just too many sex scenes and stuff.
You don't like movies with sex scenes?
I don't want to watch Home Alone with my mother because the kid grabs somebody's ass.
Oh, I see.
And that would just be a bummer. No,
wait, even at your age, it's awkward to see a sex scene with your mom?
I saw Magic Mike with my mom. That was unpleasant. But I would have been squirmy watching that movie with anybody, just alone. I would have been like, this is weird.
I've never seen Magic Mike.
Could you imagine going to like a male strip show just for a laugh and just sitting there and watching an entire male strip show? I don't think I could do it.
It depends who you go with, I think.
Right?
I mean, if you're talking like,
I just don't think they could turn. I just don't think I could ever find any pleasure in it. To be like, what they're doing is for the ladies, and the ladies are enjoying it, so I can appreciate it.
I think you would laugh your ass off how ridiculous the whole thing is.
I don't know. They had a weird place in Magic Mike too.
Yeah.
Where It was like some weird house in Louisiana or something where the male strippers do little performance art pieces in different rooms of the house for the ladies before they grind on them.
And
I thought that was interesting. But again, I don't think I would enjoy being there.
Sounds like you've seen a lot of Magic Mike movies.
I saw both of them because I am a completist. I saw every episode of Entourage for the same reason. It's like I'm going to watch every damn episode of Westworld and I don't like it.
Are you trying to say there were unanswered questions from Magic Mike, so you had to see the second one?
No, I just, was just kind of curious as to how they thought they could, do another whole movie. And it is more entertaining than the first one because it's more of a road trip thing, so there's more things going on. But it's still ultimately just dudes gyrating around and women losing their minds about it.
Well, you got a franchise with that Doug Loves movie, so you got to watch everything, I'm assuming.
Well, I try to, see lots of things.
How many movies you see a week?
I don't see that many these days because I've been too busy, and also I don't like sitting through an entire movie in a theater that I'm not enjoying, and I don't like walking out.
Why? Who cares about walking out?
I get I know I should be more like whatever and just walk out, but once I'm in there, I want to sit through the whole thing.
Right.
But I'm more selective now about once my butt's in the seat, it's like, it's something that I think I'm going to like.
Right.
And then sometimes I'm disappointed by it, but
I rarely walk out, but I choose my movies wisely.
Yeah. And we've both talked about this before. If you choose a documentary, there's a 90% chance it's going to be good because the documentary doesn't get finished and distributed unless something happened in it.
Right.
Right. Like if somebody makes an insanely boring or silly documentary, it's not going to get any more attention.
Well,
there's got to be something about it that's interesting.
Well, did you see Pervert Park, Doug?
No.
Fuck.
What's with that?
I saw two very deeply depressing documentaries.
That sounds like a kind of even though it's
over the
awful,
weekend.
Pervert Park sounds fun.
Well,
sounds like a comedy.
Well, Pervert Park, I've heard the news stories over the years, and we played one as a ridiculous news teaser where, there's towns that want to put all the perverts in one area. Well, they did just that in Florida, and it's nicknamed Pervert Park.
But it had a name like a that a housing area would have or something like.
Yeah, I mean
something Glen or something.
Yeah, the name of the documentary is Pervert Park, but you're right.
Yeah, so
it has an actual name, but it's a trailer park, and a few people turned me on to this Pervert Park. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. I like documentaries. Halfway through, I'm like, why the fuck am I watching this? It was horrific. And what pisses me off is, look, I don't know these people besides just seeing the movie.
Yeah.
But it scared me how, and I put this in quotes, so it's not misrepresented out there, how normal these people were. Right. Even though they did horrific crimes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't need horrific crimes in quotes.
No, you don't. But yeah, they live amongst us everywhere.
There was only one guy that you would go, okay, that's a monster.
Right.
His eyes weren't right, and he was twitching and this and that. But the rest of them... It was deeply disturbing how relatively normal they
didn't
are.
They didn't all look like Stanley Tucci and the Lovely Bones.
No.
That guy, when he walks in, you're like, pervert.
No.
You go to the park, you pervert.
No. And their stories are horrible. And then you learn, if their father didn't do this to her, she wouldn't have done what she did to her own fucking son. And then the son wouldn't have been with the 3-year-old. And I'm like, why am I watching this?
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Thanks for the heads up.
No, there's no need to see it.
I'm already not seeing Dear Zachary.
No, don't watch Dear Zachary.
I'm already not seeing Rats.
No,
I'm already not seeing...
Timeout. I'm calling a timeout.
Yeah, you think I got to see Rats?
Well, yeah, because you like horror movies, don't you?
Yeah, but...
It's a horror documentary.
Aren't life.
Huh?
Horror movies aren't real life.
Doug, I think you would really enjoy Rats.
I just got a text back from Sherrod. Who dis?
Why, you wrote him?
Yeah. But he wrote back, who dis?
I got 5 text messages. Here we go.
Who dis? Who dis?
Sherrod didn't charge, new phone, just woke up, we'll be here tomorrow. Oh, my God. You could still come in.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say to him.
Yeah, my text messages, phone was dead, fuck, called Roland, fuck, I so sorry, Opie. Oh, God, he cancels on me all the time, but come on in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come on in tomorrow.
We still got more than 2 hours.
You know what, E-Rock? We're doing some radio together, buddy.
Where does he come from? How long does it take him to get here?
You know, he comes from, way up there. Oh, no,
Really?
is he in Brooklyn these days?
in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's in Brooklyn.
So he could be here in like an hour?
He could easily. Should I write you could
He
still
probably
make
doesn't.
it?
When you know how when you wake up and you feel like you've missed the thing, you kind of almost have a moment of relief where you don't have to run out the door because you really missed
Right.
it. You really blew it.
You could still make it.
He could still make it.
I just wrote you could still make it.
I wrote who I was first to let him know that.
Yeah.
And then
That's good.
Come on in.
That's good.
And he wrote back, she.
Yeah, because I don't know if Doug's going to be back tomorrow. Maybe you are.
No, I gotta go.
What do you mean you got to go?
I'm back to Los Angeles tomorrow night at the Troubadour, world famous rock club in West Hollywood.
Sure.
I'm doing Getting Doug with High Live, where it's going to be me and 4 or 5 other comedians just smoking weed on stage and broadcasting it on the internet.
Who you got?
On my YouTube channel. Well, I normally like to keep it a secret, but since
okay, you can keep it a
but I can
secret.
tell you. I'll tell you the one.
Trust me, if you announce it on this radio show, it's still a secret.
Come on, you're on. I think you're on the perfect time for my listeners out in Los Angeles to get their tickets for tomorrow night because this is like they're just rolling out at noonish.
I'm hearing more from the LA people since
Yeah.
I moved to this slot.
Yeah.
You want to give one of them away, or you don't have to?
Well, that's what I was just trying to think of. Just trying to remember who the 4 we've got booked so far are. It's going to be really fun, I think. Oh, but the one that I'll say the one that you and your listeners would know, and that's Pete Holmes is going to be there.
Nice.
Yeah, he's amped up when he doesn't get high. So when you add weed to the mix, he gets spectacularly crazy.
Has he ever done the show?
Yeah. Yeah, but he's only done it like with just me and him, just the two of us. So this is going to be like on stage in front of people. He's going to completely melt down.
Very cool. All right.
He can promote his new show on HBO, Crashing.
Yeah, you think it's going to be all right?
I think it's going to be great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Judd Apatow and
Judd doesn't make
Artie's on it.
Artie's in there,
and they just started the promos. I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet myself, but people were tweeting out the first promos of the show. Very cool.
I think Judd and Pete both really know the life of comedians sleeping on people's couches,
right?
And they got lots of funny comedians to I don't know if they play themselves or if they play versions of themselves or how it works, and
it's good to see Pete Holmes bouncing back.
Yeah.
Because I liked his late night show.
He had a good show. It was on for
it.
2 seasons, and then that's how the game can be pretty ugly. But
it was very different. But I liked it. There's Artie.
He's a resilient dude. I thought his film pieces on his talk show were the funniest part anyway. So I'm glad to see him in something that's filmed.
Christ, he'll be just fine. Who am I?
He's going to do all right. Pete Holmes.
I got to worry about myself. Why am I worrying about Pete Holmes and his
He's
career?
got enough teeth in his face for everybody.
All right. So listen. Back to the documentary. So
okay, did I ever answer your question about Rules Don't Apply, starring Warren Beatty? Did you ask me what I thought of that when I said I saw it?
No, I moved past it. I didn't care.
It's boring. Okay, go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should have probably asked that question. Though.
I like Warren Beatty a lot, but it's a boring movie.
Did Mom like it?
She didn't. She wasn't as into it either. She was like, it was okay.
And now that we're back to Mom, what do you do for like turkey? Do you guys have a traditional?
No, we don't do shit.
But what you gotta eat?
We don't do any of it on Thanksgiving or Christmas. We don't even have a meal together.
Right.
We just go hang out and see a movie. It's the greatest deal.
You don't eat before or after?
Nuh-uh. So no. She doesn't cook. I don't eat. Like it's a whole great thing. Nobody has to do anything.
Are you with her more than the hour and 40 minutes that it takes to see a movie? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you smiling through that?
But it's I live in LA, so I see her at least 3 or 4 times a year, and so I don't
nice.
I don't linger forever.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I had to do. I did your Thanksgiving. I did 2 Thanksgivings. So I did one for myself and one for you, because I went to 2 of my both brothers had Thanksgiving this year. So, and the one, as soon as I got in the house, I'm on the clock because he's got cats and dogs. Highly allergic.
Always allergic to cats and dogs, or just this group of cats and dogs in this place?
Boy, is that a great question, Doug Benson. I'm one of 7 kids, so I had to figure it out as an adult that I was allergic to dogs and cats. When I was growing up, they thought I had, here goes the quotes again, asthma. Because my mom just diagnosed me as having asthma because I don't think she wanted to deal with the fact that I might be allergic to
But asthma is all about
the family dog.
All about breathing and lungs. It's not about your nose and sneezing. Weren't you all sniffly all the time with your allergies?
Sniffly.
Yeah, you can't blame that. You can't call that asthma, can you?
Your lungs got heavy.
Yeah, but
from breathing in all that
when
stuff.
snot's dripping out of your nose, you don't go, I've got asthma.
True. And I never had an inhaler, so even though she diagnosed me,
we know what he's got, and we're not going to treat it.
Right. Well,
I like that.
1 of 7 kids.
That's a good system.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't think we saw a doctor every year. I think it was like we maybe every 2 years we went and saw the doctor. And for these special occasions, she's lucky she had very healthy kids.
Do you think
so she didn't have to deal with anyone having any real issues?
Right. Yeah. No, that is lucky.
And lucky that we didn't have a lot of broken bones with 7 kids.
All of that. Anything. All that shit's expensive. You were all not allowed to eat candy, right?
Oh, we could eat as much candy as we wanted.
So didn't you all have cavities? Didn't you have really big dentist bills?
Doug, another great question. Let's smoke some pot. I'm enjoying this vibe.
You can join in if you'd like.
I'm enjoying this vibe. Let's smoke pot.
I didn't show up not high, but lots of cavities?
1 of 7 kids, a shitload of cavities. Because we weren't going every year for our checkups because that was too much money. I mean, to be fair to my mom, she sat down with the books and was like, all right, we got to skip the dentist visits and we can only go to the doctor.
Right, but then the cavities are going to cost more than if you'd had just gotten a cleaning and a checkup.
Doug, you are brilliant. You are brilliant.
Plus, all of that not having to have your teeth drilled, that sucks.
You are fucking brilliant, my friend. I never realized that I was hanging with a genius. So she would sit there and go, okay, dentist appointments, no. Every once in a while, we'll go and check them out, and just in case they're falling out of their
But
mouth.
then she should be like making you floss and brush constantly.
No.
And she wasn't on you about it.
No.
Eat some candy and brush your teeth with some candy. And
no, she was too busy rocking back and forth in the attic.
Oh, no.
My mom also likes movies, Doug. So, and then the doctor's appointments, no. Haircuts once a year. 1 haircut a year. But she was cool enough to do it at the last day of school. And then we got the crew cuts.
Right,
and
so
then
that
hair
nice slick look for summer.
And then that hair would grow in for a year, and then we would get it again. So we would go from really long hair to just a crew cut, and then sneakers. Whoo, maybe a pair every 2 years, so maybe every 3 years. We were very used to taping up the bottoms of our sneakers to make them last a little longer. So to get to your dentist question, so then we would finally go to the dentist, and the dentist would go, "Holy fuck, you got like I don't remember the numbers anymore, but like 5, 6, 7 cavities."
Yeah,
and then it would be complete torture because he would fill them all in one sitting, and then my mouth was filled with silver. I just talked about this, I think, last week on the show, and then. The thing I did when I finally got money in my pocket, I got rid of all the silver and went white. That was a very good day for me because my mouth was completely filled with silver.
Yeah, I got a bunch in mine, so I haven't. You
got silver?
I haven't gotten too much white in there, but yeah,
go white.
I just don't open my mouth very wide ever.
I got crooked teeth because we didn't have money.
Anything, yeah. I never had braces, so my lowers aren't great. But like, I get people from time to time asking me how my teeth are so white, and it's just because they see me on TV or whatever. When they put all that makeup on you and everything, your teeth look fine even when they're not that white.
Yeah, it gives you the instant tan.
Yeah.
They give you the instant tan to be on TV, so your teeth look whiter.
So the people with really white teeth, they look insane on television. Yeah. It just stands out too much.
It looks kind of stupid. So back to the documentary. So you got to see Rats.
Oh, okay.
But Pervert Park, you could skip.
I mean, I love Morgan Spurlock. He's a great dude and does a lot of good things. Right. But just the idea that it's going to be all rats all the time. It's not like there's going to be a subplot that's not about rats.
It was fascinating, though. You learn a lot about rats.
But I've listened to you and Morgan talk about it so much that I feel like I've seen it. I don't need to look at it, but I know about
Are you freaked out by
The
rats?
rats.
Are you one of those guys?
Not freaked out by them. I got to hold one the other day on a morning show in Portland.
So random. Was it a city rat though, or was it like a pet store rat?
It's just like
There's
a pet store
difference.
rat, but a big one and very rat-like. Like if people hate rats, they probably wouldn't be happy with the way I was holding it and putting it. It was crawling around down my shirt and stuff.
I'm from the school. If it's like a white rat, it's not really a rat.
This
This
had gray hair, but it was cute. You're right. It was more
you
like
want those fucking rats that'll scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, you if you got to be around a rat, you want one that's a chef like Ratatouille.
Right.
Can, fix you up something delicious.
By the way, I'm a doctor and Doug is wrong. What were you
About
saying?
what?
You want to find out?
What was I wrong about? Oh, asthma, having a runny nose.
Sure.
probably.
Let's say hi to Tom in Pennsylvania. Tom.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Doug knows movies, but he doesn't know asthma. Sorry, Dougie.
Well, that's all right, but I think I was right when I said if they said he had asthma, that he should have got an inhaler.
Well, you know, asthma.
If they thought he had asthma.
Well, no, that was my mom. You got asthma. You're fine. And I swear to you, I only found out I was allergic to cats and dogs in my 30s. In my 30s. And I had cats that were driving me nuts. But anyway, go ahead, Tom.
Well, there's something called allergy-induced asthma. Okay. So the first phase of the allergic response is the itchy, watery eyes and runny nose, right?
Right.
And that leads into asthma. So you can show up with snot dripping out of your face that is actually an asthmatic reaction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I believe you if you're a doctor.
Yeah, why are you asking us if it makes sense? You're the doctor.
Well, I'm asking you if what I said makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm a speech comm major.
I just,
Opie, I've heard your show every day, every single day for the past 15 years.
Wow. You've gone through some changes with me, my friend.
How come you never get a vacation?
Because I'm in the car every day. I go place to place and do my medical stuff. But
do you time your vacations when Opie's in reruns?
I've heard those too. I used to actually, in the old days, I used to find a way to sneak them off the internet on those funny files. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's all about the funny files. All right.
By the way, Opie, have you listened? Have you listened to the morning show much at all, or do you listen to that?
I can honestly say I haven't heard 1 minute of it.
Well, if I hear another minute of their stupid banter, I'm going to puke.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Thanks for the phone call, buddy. Carry on.
Right.
Carry on. It's fucking endless. It's just endless.
Some shows, Opie, they cut the person off after they make their first statement, and then they kind of talk about them for the rest of the conversation, and the person doesn't get to jump in with some strange out of nowhere thing.
It's been discussed ad nauseum that I can't help myself, Doug. Okay. I'll acknowledge that. But I was a good boy. I didn't say anything. I just haven't listened. That's the truth.
Yeah. No, you answered honestly.
Let's see. Can help out with his missing movie line. No, we don't need that.
Oh, I said, does anybody want a peanut or someone want a peanut? I don't know which one it is, but
no, this one wants
peanut's the key thing.
This is the one that kisses your ass. Let's go with one that kisses Doug Benson's ass.
We'll see. It might be a wild. I've been listening to Doug Loves Movies every day.
Or they could be tricking us, and this could be a prank caller.
Yeah.
James in New Jersey, go ahead.
Yo, what's up, Bob? I just wanted to say, last night, me and a few of my friends went to see the show.
Yeah.
And really, the only reason we went to see the show, we listened to the podcast, but we never would have heard about it if it wasn't for Opie.
Oh,
came on a couple weeks back or a month or two ago or whatever, promoted it. I looked up tickets that night. We bought 4. We went.
That's awesome.
Had a pretty good time.
That's great.
Absolutely, man. I really enjoyed myself. I got hit with a donut at the end.
I got it.
Sorry about that. Were you able to catch it and eat it?
No, dude, it hit the floor, and I looked at it, and I was like, should I pick this up and show my friends I just got pelted with this donut? But I left it there.
I gotta say, I did Doug Loves Movies. I love the experience. I'm really horrendous at movies in the end.
If it wasn't icing down, I would have picked it up. If it wasn't icing down, I would have picked up that
icing
donut.
down? Who cares?
No, if the icing's touching the floor, you'd still eat it?
In a second. Do it right now. Because I hate people that go, yeah, I would do it, but do it. I'll do it. I don't give a fuck.
All right.
I ate eggs that had cockroaches crawling
I'm sure
all over
Roland has a donut in his pocket.
We can do that. Thanks, James.
I wish you were on last night. I wish you had Opie on more because the guests were a little subpar last night, but I had a good time.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. It's a fun, we always have fun with the format, and, Opie's always welcome to come back. So come again some other time.
I think Doug realized how awful I am at movies. I understand. But maybe we find a better.
Listen to a few episodes. I think you're not taking into account that most comedians don't know shit about movies.
Oh.
And most of my guests sit there and fumfer around and don't know what to say. That's why the callers like subpar guests last night, because they didn't know anything. They were funny, but they didn't know anything.
The funny thing is, your audience, they all raise their hands and they want you to pick them. And I'm like, you don't want me to be representing you. We're not winning shit with this.
You never know.
I'm just trying to get a couple funny lines out, and that's it.
Anyone can luck into a win on there, because it's just things land in your wheelhouse or they don't.
Right.
You know.
I was what he was referring to. You did Doug Loves Movies on this channel a couple months ago, and it was unbelievable how good it was. And then it turned on that guy. He's a new fan of Doug Loves Movies.
Yeah, that was super fun. I'd do that anytime.
And you're
but that doctor didn't hear it because he was on vacation that day.
No, he was too busy listening to me. He was catching up on old episodes.
He was fucking around with funny files.
Funny files. And your fans are unbelievable, man. They're hardcore.
They're into it.
They so get into it. All right, so let's get back to this. Pervert Park, no. Rats, yes.
Okay, I'll watch Rats, but I'm not going to watch Dear Zachary.
No, and I strongly suggest to anyone they don't watch Dear Zachary. I mean, it was put together wonderfully, but fuck, who needs that shit in their life? For real. But the movie you should see is Gleason. To get serious for a minute.
Yeah, I'd check that out. I've heard good things about it. I've heard it's good. Like, that's the thing about documentaries is when people start raving about one, I just sort of, mental note and try to watch it because it's always interesting to watch those things unspool without knowing what it's about.
Right. Well, when they were raving about Making a Murderer, you knew you had to jump right on because you knew this Twitter was going to spoil everything.
I never did.
You didn't watch?
I didn't watch any of it. I listened to you talk about it a lot, so I feel like I know a lot that happened in it, but I didn't watch any of it. I'm real bad at even when I like something, it's hard for me to watch something that's 10 hours or however long that was.
Right. Well, this Gleason movie is going to win everything. It's going to win what can it win at the Academy Awards? Can it win Best Movie even though it's a doc?
Movies that are documentaries are eligible in the other categories, But
that's really hard to do, right?
It rarely happens. Okay. Rarely crosses over. Like Hoop Dreams was nominated for editing.
Right.
And there's another great example that I can't think of right now. There's another doc that was nominated for editing, or maybe musical score.
Right.
But Best Picture I don't think has ever happened.
Right.
But it could because documentaries are so good and they're just starting to get more mainstream attention.
Well, I mean, it's got to at least win Best Documentary.
Between HBO and Netflix, they're both doing so much for docs.
Right.
Well, this movie is about Steve Gleason. He played for the Saints. He retired early. I don't know his story, why he retired early, but I think he was only like 28 or 29 years old, maybe 30, and retired. Then he had some symptoms, and he goes to a doctor, and he decides to start filming everything. And he goes to the doctor, and he starts talking, I'm having some feelings that aren't right, and the doctor thinks it might be an old football injury, maybe something with my vertebrae, and could be this or that. And then he just casually says at the end, and they're also saying it might be ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And sure enough, he's got Lou Gehrig's disease. And this movie basically shows this incredibly strong athlete. He's a strong person no matter what. That's what you learn from this movie. So that's why I want to say it like that. This strong athlete, really good looking guy, has the world by the balls, and he's diagnosed with ALS. And the movie takes you. I hate saying this word, but in this case, it's appropriate. It takes you through his journey.
Yeah.
I hate when people have a journey when they're losing 10 fucking pounds or going to try to find a new job. They're going on a journey. Shut up.
People throw around the journey thing a lot. Their own journey. Like teenage girls, when they become famous for some reason, they talk about their journey a lot.
Right.
Thank you for being here during my journey. Like you're 17 years old. Settle down.
And you show your ass.
You got a lot more journey ahead of you.
And you show your ass on Instagram. Let's relax. Let's relax. That's not a journey.
Relax that ass.
Right. So, and the movie, I was bawling. Is it all right to admit on a radio show that you were bawling at a movie?
Sure. Did you see the Glenn Campbell one?
Yes, that was brutal.
That's also a terrible, terrible journey that they managed to capture.
Do you say Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's?
Wait, what? Now you got me questioning my own.
Well, do you say Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's?
I think I say Alzheimer's.
I think I say that too because it's Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's just sounds like it only afflicts people named Al.
The Glenn
Alzheimer's, it affects everybody.
The Glenn Campbell movie was brutal.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was brutal.
Yeah,
but you also learned that what was it? His third or fourth wife was pushing Mr. Campbell. I think. I think they should allow Mr. Campbell to enjoy the rest of his life as you know, before this disease completely took hold of him. My own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Because the footage of him, like, forgetting the words on stage, you know, he made it fun for everyone, but then you're looking at his daughter and son playing with him in the band, and they were like, holy fuck, this is our dad, man. This sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But so's the disease, you know, and just the bringing attention to it and showing how, like, I mean, the guy couldn't have been like a cooler, more talented guy,
right? And
then he just acts like such an asshole sometimes because of the disease, you know. And it's just really interesting to watch.
It absolutely was a good documentary. But so Gleason, about Steve Gleason. And then he's doing blogs because then he finds out his wife's pregnant. I forgot, only a few weeks after he was diagnosed with ALS. So he's thinking, oh, my God, I got 5 years to live, and my wife's pregnant. So he starts making video blogs, everything his son's going to need to know to go through life, you know, one of those type of things. And then you see him still completely with it and normal, speaking, being able to do pretty much everything. And as this movie progresses, you know, they show him going for a swim and he could barely do it. Then they show him going to a faith healer because his dad is a very religious man. So I would love to ask somebody from that movie, you know, that scene in particular, because Steve Gleason is there. Was he believing that he could be healed by a faith healer, or was he just doing it for his dad? Because then he whispers as the faith healer's doing his thing, and he whispers to his wife, "I'm going to go up there and run." And he's a good month or two into the disease at this point. So he goes up there, and in front of everyone, he tries to run and falls flat on his face after 3 feet. Right. And then the movie takes you to the point where he's not talking anymore, where he's not able to walk anymore, so he's in a wheelchair. Takes you to the point where he can't shit on his own anymore. That guy, look at this guy, is so full of life. That guy right there. Can we play the trailer for Doug? Yeah, let's play this.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
There's no way anyone can sit through that without crying.
Dude, I was teary-eyed. I mean,
a whole movie of that?
My kids were playing Minecraft on their iPad, so I was like trying to hold it in. I have no problem admitting it. I wanted to bawl my eyes out. I'm like, this movie is brutal. But this guy has created such awareness for ALS, raised so much fucking money, still living with a great sense of humor. He's on Twitter. At this point, he can't move at all. And he communicates with his eyes, you know, kind of with the board, and then there's a scene in the movie where he's laying down his voice, knowing he's going to lose his voice, and then when he communicates, it's at least his voice when they read back his messages. It's brutal, man. If you think you're having a shitty day or your life is shitty, watch this movie, and then you realize
it's Monday.
What the
watch
fuck?
Gleason.
But for real, man, if it doesn't change your life in a way or two, then I don't think you have a soul.
Yeah, it
was an eye-opener.
It seems like it'd be very, very moving and, very thought-provoking.
Would you watch a movie like that, Doug Benson?
Yeah, absolutely. But,
it absolutely is inspirational. It's not one of these where holy fuck, nothing's getting done here. You're just watching this guy deteriorate. His quality of life, believe it or not, hasn't changed that much. It's extremely different, yes, but he's still that same person inside and still living his life to the fullest. So... But
did you ever see that movie, The Butterfly and the Diving Bell?
I read the book, believe it or not.
The movie's great. I didn't read the book because I'm a movie guy, and but the movie's very uplifting and upsetting at the same time.
Right, and it's the
same sort of deal. The guy was
take one of those.
Guy was just completely, suddenly just was very frozen, couldn't move anything except for his eyes, and so
what was his?
He blinked an entire book to his nurse.
Well, didn't he only have one eye that he could blink?
He could
with?
only move one eye, yeah.
Right,
and he just blinked it Morse code style to write an entire book, and a very poetic book too. Like it's amazing.
And what's the disease he had?
It's like it's got a name, but they also call it locked-in syndrome.
Locked-in syndrome, right? Exactly.
But it's probably got a more technical sounding name.
Yeah. You know what? I got to see that movie. I love the book.
That movie's really, really good.
Yeah. All right. That's one I got to check out.
Yeah.
I'll save that for Tuesday. Today it's all about Gleason. Oh, it's brutal though, man. I mean, to see this really strong, like I said, athlete. Good-looking guy, has the world by the balls, and then life handed him that.
Yep, that's why you got to make the best of every day. That's why I'm going to watch Rats tonight.
Yes,
just in case I have a terrible disease starting tomorrow.
All right, Doug loves movies. Where are we at? I know you're not really promoting, but we're going to take a break here.
Yeah, back in Los Angeles tomorrow night at the Troubadour. Tickets are available for that. You can go to douglovesmovies.com for all my dates. This Saturday I'll be in San Antonio. I've got Austin, Texas, and Fort Lauderdale coming up. I like to visit the warmer places during the winter months.
Perfect.
Yeah, it works out pretty good.
Yeah, that's smart on your part.
Yeah.
I never understood you comedians where you're playing Minnesota in February. I'm like, can't you
sometimes
adjust that
you just
shit?
got to take a gig, But I'm lucky now. I get to kind of pick and choose where I'm going to go, and
that's great.
I love it.
I got an update from Sherrod.
I did too. What's yours?
Mine, I said, yo, you could still make it. He wrote, just call Roland to see if Carr was still here, because we get Sherrod a car.
Okay.
And why are you doing that, Paul? What's wrong? What do you got over there? I'm trying to.
So the car's probably not there.
He goes.
Still.
They said by the time I get there, the show would be over. I'm in Brooklyn, and then that is probably too personal. Not even that bad, but just because I don't know if he wants me reading his texts. I mean, the basic stuff. I'm sure he'd be fine with. Then he writes, didn't get to bed till 4 a.m. Set alarm. Phone died, and I just woke back up. And then he says, I'll be there tomorrow, an hour early.
What good does that do?
I don't know.
Have him just sitting around the hallways.
Although I started Facebook and Live before the show, so he could be the star of the pre-show on Facebook Live.
Yeah, he's saying he wants to do the show with me some other day this week. Like I'm going to change my schedule. I'm going to hang out so I can be on Opie with Sherrod.
All right, we're going to take a little break here. Eric is going to join us, right, E-Rock? Talk about your teeth.
Sure.
We're going to talk about E-Rock's teeth, Doug Benson.
Nice.
And then I got Stuntbrain coming in today to talk a little politics.
Oh, boy.
Well, we'll talk Fidel Castro. We'll talk... we got donuts, Doug.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to put some icing on the floor and see if you're going to eat it.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Be a good video.
Why would that be a good video? That's easy.
What, don't you think there's like, I mean, I know they probably, vacuum the carpeting in here, but still, there's been some stuff spilled in here over the years.
That's
Drop
easy.
it on the street.
What I'll do is I stepped in dog poo. I think I still there's something right there. That's at least old gum. I could smush it into the sole of my shoe.
Wow, you just really willing to do anything?
I'm desperate. Have you read the boards? I'm desperate. I gotta make this work.
I hope he's eating shit off the floor to get people to listen.
I'm desperate. Please listen to me.
Stop talking about depressing documentaries and eat something off the floor.
No, the Gleason.
Be an entertainer.
The Gleason thing is so uplifting. It really is.
It is. I'm very uplifted
I
by
swear
just
it's
from the
uplifting,
trailer. There's
especially-
lots of shots of this beautiful child who will obviously live and maybe not get the same disease.
Oh God, that's what I was thinking. Is he passing it on to his son?
I don't know. I think it maybe skips or something. I don't know if it's direct.
Some of that shit skips. So,
I think so.
and by the time his son
Maybe
has
that
kids,
doctor can call in and set us straight. It doesn't skip, but it does make your nose sniffle.
if you want to get really fucking depressed, we'll call Dr. Steve. We could talk about ALS for an hour.
Dr. Steve said he wants to be on Doug Love's movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you should do that.
That's what I said, sure.
Why are you laughing as you say that?
I
That's
said
not
sure.
nice.
No, I said sure, but I was expecting you to say something.
I want to turn Dr. Steve on to some knowledge about ALS that I didn't know. This Steve Gleason had a choice to make. He was very close to death, and they said they could prolong his life considerably if he got a ventilator. And a lot of ALS patients don't do that because this disease is really hell on earth.
Yeah, you just go ahead and die.
They basically tap out and like, fuck this, I can't do this anymore. But Steve Gleason, and you learned in the movie, he got the ventilator because he wants to be around for his son.
Yeah.
So
That kid's a boy?
yeah,
Okay.
the kid I think is now 5.
Looking pretty girly in the trailer.
Well,
As a baby.
I don't think they had time to cut his hair, Doug. They were too busy with around the
No
clock.
haircuts for you, Dad.
Dad needs
all
around the
about
clock
Dad.
hair. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, I understand that.
No, but also when I was a little baby, I had a ton of hair on my head and look very girlish. So
You still have a lot
it's
of
just
hair.
me lashing out. I still have hair. I'm very, very proud of it.
But I bow to Steve Gleason, and it's just unbelievable. I highly, highly recommend that documentary. I'm trying to think if it's the best documentary I've ever seen. I would have to like take a night and really think that over.
It seems like it'd be very, very emotional. But there's been a lot of great documentaries.
All right, hold on. I know we have to take a break, E-Rock, but let me just take this call from Jeff in New Orleans. Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I actually was been part of that whole situation since the beginning. I have the caregiver, you know, Blair, who's in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I have. He's a good friend of mine. I can get his number to you. He's been, you know, he's a big promoter of the movie.
Can I ask you something about? Can I ask you something about Blair? Wait, Blair's on the phone. Hold on a minute.
Whoa!
Hold on.
This guy can get us his number.
Jeff, do you mind if I just hang up on you?
Absolutely. I was going to give you Blair's number, so that's great.
Oh, you do mind?
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
No, I don't mind.
You understood that? Yeah. Okay.
No,
Do you mind? Yes.
So, yeah.
You answered the question. All right. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you turning us on to Blair, who's on line 4. Blair, what's going on?
Well, fellas, how we doing?
Well, I saw Gleason yesterday, and I was tweeting about it, and I was bawling, man. Teary eyeballs all over the place. This documentary's unbelievable.
Good laughs in too, huh?
Huh?
Got some good laughs in though, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, I should say that. There's some humor in
It
there.
seems very heartwarming, and you know, he is still with us, so you don't have that sadness. But it also seems like it's going to be quite a heavy watch.
Yeah, I don't know if you were listening to the show, but I said that it's obvious that Steve Gleason is still living his life to big time. It's just it's different, but he's still living.
He absolutely is. I mean, he lives every day to the fullest. He's a great leader, a great husband, and a great father.
Right. And how's their relationship going? Because in the movie, you see it's a bit taxing at times.
I mean, it's you know, with ALS, every day is an adventure, and you know, Steve, being the physical specimen that he was playing football,
I'll say,
you know, he was a big concern with raising a child, but he's figured out. And we've figured out, you know, with the right technology, you can pretty much do anything. Anything that the disease takes away, we found a way for technology to give it back. And, you know, he teaches his son school. His son's got an amazing baseball swing, and he's done all of that through his communication device.
Right. And how did you come into the picture again? You knew Steve's wife, and she basically came to you and said, look, I need you. You got to quit your job. And then you've been pretty much helping them out ever since, right?
Yeah, so I actually played football in college, and the Saints had their camp at Millsaps College where I went for undergrad, and Steve was a guy that I always looked up to. I mean, he wasn't the biggest, fastest, or strongest player, but he always found a way to make his presence felt on the team, and everything he was doing off the field was just somebody you want to look up to, you want to get to know, and had the opportunity to meet him, and he wasn't your typical football player. I mean, he was genuine, not that all football players aren't genuine, but, I mean, he was outgoing and receptive to just talking to me every day. And we became good friends when I moved back to New Orleans for graduate school. I actually worked for him when he was in the NFL, and we just remained great friends.
Yeah. What is prognosis? I know I was explaining to Doug, he chose to get the ventilator, which will prolong your life considerably. What are they saying these days?
So I think, with ALS, there's so many different types of it under the motor neuron disease umbrella, some cases being more rapidly progressing than others. I think Steve's case was pretty rapidly progressing, one of the most rapid progressions that I've seen. But we've figured out with the right technology and the right care, you can live a very long time. And we have the technology down. Care is something that we've been working with the Center for Medicare Advocacy to ensure that people with ALS know what resources they have available to them. Steve's very fortunate to have badass care staff, that's there 24/7. But we want to make sure that anybody with ALS has the resources so that they can have that too, so they can focus on their relationships as opposed to their loved ones being caretakers.
Right. Yeah, you guys have raised a lot of money for other ALS patients. That comes out pretty clearly. Excuse me, in the movie. There are times in the movie he was really, really suffering. Is his day-to-day life a lot less suffering now, or kind of the same? Where's he at with that?
Before the trach, he was having a lot of respiratory issues, and respiratory infections lead to pneumonia, and one point he was septic, and that's one of the leading killers of ALS patients is respiratory issues. So leading up to his trach, there were certainly a lot of hard times. He wasn't able to sleep. He wasn't comfortable. And being in the hospital, it's just mentally, physically, and emotionally draining. So kind of figuring that out now, he self-diagnoses very well. So if he's feeling under the weather, he's quick to pull the trigger and get somebody in or go in and get checked out. And I think he's going to live longer than me for sure. Right.
And can he feel if you touch his arm, or how does that work?
Absolutely. I mean, you can feel everything. With ALS, it affects your motor neurons. So your brain basically stops sending signals to your body to be able to move, and therefore you lose muscle mass. But he can certainly feel, taste, and smell everything.
Okay. The question I got to ask you. So how do you deal with an itch? Like, here's a guy, he can only communicate with his eyes, and he's got one of those itches. How does he tell you guys?
So he speaks through a communication device. This technology that we've been working on for the past 5 years with some large eye gaze vendors as well as with Microsoft, he communicates through his tablet as he does everything with it. And, he makes light of all the hard situations. Anything that he needs, that may be uncomfortable for some people to say, he has a very humorous way of letting it out and making light of it.
Right. Well, I got to tell you, Blair, this movie I think changed my life. I'm sure you guys are hearing that a lot from other people. The movie's unbelievable, and yes, I should tell people it's very funny at times. He's got a very good sense of humor, and his wife is giving him shit at some of the most awkward times where he's dealing with some really crazy heavy stuff, and she's giving him shit or they're joking about it. And I don't know. I feel like this movie is going to change a lot of people's lives. You look at your own life and go, God, why am I bitching about this or that? Who cares? It could be so much worse.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of storylines there, and I think for that reason, obviously we need more awareness for the disease, and this is certainly a great tool for people to understand more of what people are going through, not just with ALS, but any neurodegenerative disease or brain injury, but it's more than that. I mean, it's about love. It's about a father and a son. It's about a husband and a wife. And I think it's perspective that people need, that people take for granted is, you don't know what tomorrow holds, so keep your relationships intact, really get the most out of what you can get in a day, and your big problems become small, and your small problems are non-existent.
Right. Very good. You got a question, Doug?
Yeah, is he continuing to be documented and filmed? Like, because the story's not over and it's still probably quite interesting.
He had, with the documentary, there was over 1,400 hours worth of footage. So there was somebody around all the time. Ty Minton Small and David Lee were the two videographers that were attached at their hip at all times. I mean, they were part of the family. And as much as Michelle and Steve love that, I think right now it's more of just getting back to being a family and enjoying life for what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We played Pearl Jam's "You Are" to start the show. I didn't even explain why we played that song. I was checking out Steve Gleason on Twitter, and he really, really likes that song by Pearl Jam. He loves the band in general and was able to interview them when their album came out a few years back. Were you around when he talked to Eddie Vedder?
So I was actually there in Seattle. We were at the McCready's, but I do a little volunteer work and actually left to go to a muscular dystrophy camp to be a counselor. The 1 week that I took off, I missed him interview the entire band. But, I mean, those guys are always around. They invite Steve to, all of their shows when Steve's able to make it. And it's a great relationship. Those guys are super genuine, just like Steve, so it's a match made in heaven.
I love how you're downplaying this, but I'm sure in the safety of your own home, away from everyone else, you're like, son of a bitch.
Right.
He got Eddie Vedder to tear up, by the way, Doug Benson.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Because he was asking Eddie about his own father. And Eddie's like, wow. And it was a great answer. He basically told Steve Gleason, what are you, Barbara Walters? And it was a very good exchange. And I like the stuff about Steve Gleason and his very religious father and how that played out in the movie. Very, very interesting. So anything else you want to say, Blair?
No, I appreciate you guys supporting not just the documentary, and the awareness is much needed, and we really support you. We really appreciate you guys. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's on. Where did I see it? I guess I saw it on. Was it HBO, Showtime? It's on all the cable networks right now. So I highly recommend. Yeah, go ahead.
Amazon Prime, iTunes. If you're on a Delta flight, they're actually playing it on Delta flights right now.
Okay, cool. And do me a favor and give Steve Gleason my best. I'm serious. This movie just, I think it might have changed my life, and I think a lot of people are saying that. So I really, really appreciate this film.
Well, I just texted him and let him know that you guys were talking about him, so you'll probably hear from him soon.
All right, cool. Thanks, Blair. I appreciate it.
All right, fellas, you have a great one.
Yeah, right
you
on.
too.
Blair is prominently, in this movie. So.
Wow, that's amazing. They called right in.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about something else that we want.
Well, how about something you want? Because I think this type of stuff creeps you out, Doug, is what I'm thinking.
Do you ever start talking about some sort of food and then people bring you some of it?
Oh, God.
Does that happen a lot?
Just yell down to Roland. That's an easy one. What do you need?
No, I don't want him to go get it. I just want to,
Who do you want to talk to today? Let's try this out.
Who do we want to get on the phone?
Yeah, let's try this out.
Let's get Sherrod Small on the phone.
Oh, come on. You can go for anyone. We got Blair.
Just start talking about him and hope they call in.
Who's a big part of the Gleason movie.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get a better guest than that one today.
You don't want to talk to anybody?
Well, let me think about it. Let's think about it during the break.
Okay, we can do that. We're going to finally break here.
We can tease that we might be talking to somebody.
When we get back, we're going to talk to E-Rock and his broken teeth. We're going to talk maybe to Stuntbrain, because there's a lot of politics going on.
It's too much.
You've had it too, right?
I'm so done with it, but I still sort of pay attention a little bit.
How about we just do a little then?
Yeah.
We'll do a little taste, as they say.
We'll do as much Stuntbrain as we think people can take.
Are you kidding me?
Bring him in when there's a hard out at the end of the show.
Not a fan of the Stuntbrain, are you?
No, I think he's great. I've actually got to sit next to him the last time I was here, and we had a lovely time.
Meaning you did.
But the fact that what comes with him is just talking about politics.
We could talk about Bigfoot.
Let's talk about Bigfoot.
Are you a big fan of Bigfoot?
Nah, I don't care one way or the other about Bigfoot. Really.
They're trying to get him on.
I'm not for or against Bigfoot.
They're trying to get Bigfoot on the endangered species list.
Well, that's, it's you don't get any more endangered than not existing.
That's what makes that headline so special. Look it up if you think I just bullshitted you. We'll be back. I liked Barney Miller, but I can't really tell you much about the show today.
I loved it growing up, and same thing. I don't remember a whole lot of it. I just know I loved that show.
Well, Ron Glass was very dry and very erudite.
Harris,
yes, Detective Harris, and it was a really good show. It was like watching a play that takes place in a in a rundown precinct.
Everyone trying to spell Wojciechowicz.
Booking room. They always had fun.
Yeah.
I think there's some character actors who came through as 8 or 9 different criminals over the course of the series.
Did Ron Glass die before Abe Vigoda? And who would have called that?
Ron Glass just died.
Stuntbrain.
Abe Vigoda died a few months ago.
But pretty damn close, though.
They were too close. Now that you mention it,
but
it's
Abe Vigoda
weird that hasn't come up.
Abe Vigoda was a lot older than Ron Glass. Ron Glass was only 71. Abe was
to be 100.
What are we looking at? 21,
94?
79. Then you go 15
Carry
after
the
that.
one.
Let's go 94. Did you say 94? 94.
Hal Linden is alive, right?
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Wojciechowicz is
Wow,
alive.
wait, breaking news.
Whoa.
Hal Linden is an asshole, according to E-Rock. Why?
Because I've seen him twice on, I guess he lives around 57th and 6th, where we used to do the show at XM.
Yeah.
And I've seen him on the street a couple of times, and I'm like, fucking Barney Miller. And I go and ask for a photo, and every time he just doesn't even look. He just goes no and crosses the street.
Well, maybe he's sick of people coming up to him going,
how about
are
he be
you
happy anyone
Barney Miller?
remembers him?
Is
You know what?
is Louis C.K. an asshole?
No.
Yeah, because Louis
'Cause he
doesn't
does the
take
same thing.
pictures.
He
Louis
doesn't
set
take
a
pictures.
precedent a long time. Well, no, Louis did.
So did Hal Linden.
What about Alan Alda? Do you think he's an asshole?
No.
Because
he's a
if you ask for an autograph, he says, "I'd rather just shake your hand." He doesn't sign autographs.
I got a photo with him.
How about Tommy Lee Jones?
I know photos are a great way to get around those non-autograph signing.
I love Alan
fuckers.
Alda.
I think it's stupid to sign autographs these days when everyone has their cameras. Yeah, they got their phones and
depends
stuff.
what
So you should sign their camera.
I got to tell you though, I was with
I've been asked that many times.
I was with Louis C.K. when he said no.
It's got to
It
be
is
brutal.
So uncomfortable.
It's got to be brutal because
I am-
people. They'd either look like shocked, scared,
Yeah.
like you just said something mean to them, or
Yeah.
they dig in and insist on getting a picture.
I mean, we're certainly not on the same level. I mean, I get recognized every day, but very, very minimal. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying
you
very
go
minimal.
into the same deli.
Very minimal. So, no, I'm trying to preface this. So, I get recognized, but
Yeah.
nothing like Louis C.K. That's what I should have said, okay?
Sure.
So, I can't comprehend. But it got to a point where Louis says no if you want a picture with him. And this was a year or two ago. He did our show, and then what we usually do when Louis comes in, we catch up, and we're outside the building. We're outside the building on the sidewalk catching up about this and that. These two girls come up and ask for a picture, and Louis goes no. I start laughing because I think it's Louis just playing with them a little bit. And then when I realized that he was dead serious, it got so uncomfortable. Wow. So uncomfortable. Because the girls were laughing like, oh, that's silly. He said no. Anyway, can you take the picture? And Louis was like, no, seriously, no. And then they walked away extremely awkwardly. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah, and now they tell everybody they know that'll listen what a dick he was, and it just creates all this bad mojo, this bad vibe around all. If he'd have said yes, they'd be walking away quicker if he'd have just taken the picture.
Well, I mean, like I said,
It's what people want these days. I don't know how to, I wouldn't know how to begin to say no to everybody. And he probably gets asked two or three times more than I do, and I get asked enough where it would be nice to say no every once in a while, but
I love it every time. I'm like, all right.
If you're having dinner with your family,
no,
and
well, that's the
someone
thing
comes
is
up,
they'll
I'd say,
cross that line every time. They don't give a shit.
Oh, they'll sit right next to you and have dessert with you. I've had that a few times. There's an empty chair, and it always goes to anyways, and then they'll sit down and continue talking about what they're talking. Now I'm introducing them to my kids, my wife. I'm like, oh, what are you going to do? This is not a bad life. I'm okay with this.
Who's the one person who told you no, Opie? picture-wise?
What do you mean?
That you've asked for.
Oh, geez, I got an answer to
You
this.
got here, right? Something here, something big.
No, but usually when you get them in this studio, even if they're telling us no pictures, if we go, hey man, can we have a picture? They do it every time.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci?
Joe Pesci. I went out to L.A. to film a show for TBS. I was coming back, and he was on my flight, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's Joe Pesci. He was 2 rows behind me, sleeping extremely awkwardly with his head all the way back and his mouth wide open. And a lot of people know I love filming shit, and I didn't film it, and I wanted to, and I should have. And then we're going to baggage claim. It's a red-eye flight. There's no one at the airport except this flight, and most people on the flight didn't even know it was him. And I said, "Hey, Mr. Pesci, can I, get a picture?" And he said, "No."
Wow.
And then just like the Louis C.K. situation, I'm laughing like that's funny. But can I have it? He said no.
He might have felt like he didn't look good, because,
and then he said, "I'd rather not." He gave me "I'd rather not," and then at that point you realize, don't push it. And I'm like, "Fuck, man! When's the next time I'm going to see Joe Pesci?"
It's always weird though, like after a long flight, because you don't feel like you want to be in a picture. You don't feel fresh, Well,
that's the problem when you are cool and you take a lot of pictures. It's inevitable. You're going to take a shitty picture, and that's the one they're going to put online, and then everyone's going to fucking comment, "What the fuck, man?"
I'd like to do as little of it as possible, but it's just so much easier to just do it, especially if they're going selfie style, if there's not a lot of handing around the camera, like you take it, no, you take it. If they're just going to jump in and get a quick shot, I'd rather just get it over with than stand around and discuss it with them.
But E-Rock thinks Hal Linden's an asshole because you walked up to him and said, "Aren't you Barney Miller?"
Twice.
No, I never said
twice, right? You got him twice.
I never mentioned Barney Miller, and I said, "Mr. Lennon, I'm a big fan. Could I get a photo?" Nope. And he's still wearing that old 1970s fucking beige raincoat for no reason.
Says the fashion maven in the other room.
And my hoodie's
Aren't you
current.
supposed to be watching Simpsons 600 by now?
I should have been, yes.
What was that about over the weekend? I was trying to follow.
It's only half done, right?
No, it's not even half done.
They're playing every Simpsons episode?
Yep, the first 600 episodes.
Oh, the first 600. How many are they up to?
When I left, I think it was like 190 something.
Yeah, it was
How many total episodes?
600.
It's over 600.
That's what I mean. You said the first 600, but how many episodes has The Simpsons done?
Whatever.
Not many more.
Whatever the 600 episode was the beginning of this season. So whatever this season is an addition to it.
Yeah, it's pretty much all of them.
All right, so the answer is it's pretty much all of them.
Yeah, and they started with like a pilot or a Christmas thing they did before the series.
They were on the Tracy Ullman show as shorts. Then they had a Christmas episode, which was their pilot.
But that's what they showed first in this marathon.
Yeah.
Yep,
because that's the first episode.
Yeah.
So you never got your picture with Hal?
No.
Hal Linden.
No, but if you see him a third time, you definitely use "this is my third attempt, Mr. Linden."
Or you're my favorite
you know what I mean?
singer. Yeah, because nobody knows him
is
for singing. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you know him for singing?
Yeah, he's like a nightclub act. He's like Feinstein's or one of those, Don't Tell Mama places.
Yeah, he's been in Broadway shows and shit.
He's like a cabaret singer.
Look at him singing Mac the Knife.
There you go. See, I love your Mac the Knife.
All right, let me hear this Mac the Knife shit.
Have the wherewithal to make.
Oh, he's going to have a speech first.
He looks good, man. This was 2012.
Oh, the shark has
It's like Shatner singing.
pretty teeth, dear,
It's just pandering.
and he shows
He's looking for pussy.
burly white.
Oh my God, that guy's old.
Just a jackknife.
This is a drunk dad at a wedding.
dear, but it keeps out of.
Oh, he's a performer, huh, guys?
He really knows how to act like he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's really making faces like, can you believe this?
Now he's scatting a little.
Oh, now he's leaning on the piano.
Start to spread.
He's spreading stuff.
Well, fancy gloves.
Very theatrical with his performance.
Look
That
at
guy looks dead.
Oh my God. That guy's going to fall asleep.
He's got a really old band. He looks good, though, man.
Yeah.
How old is he? He's got to be pushing 80.
He's up there, yeah.
If good old Ron was 71 when he passed, I bet you Hal was older. 85. Wow. And that was 4 years ago. So you were looking at an 81-year-old man. He looked all right.
He's got his high school yearbook photo on the wiki.
But he's been at it his whole life. He went to the High School of Music and Art.
That's his headshot at the Carnegie.
Yeah. So if someone says no to you, then you don't like that person anymore, huh?
Well, he's on that. There's a short list.
But I think that's what happens. Is this people? It's like the great scene in King of Comedy when the lady says to Jerry Lewis, talk on the phone, and he says no, and she goes, "I hope you die of cancer."
Cancer.
Like they turn on you immediately.
Yeah. What happened to your teeth, E-Rock? We've waited long enough.
Yeah. Finally.
He
teased the crap out of this story.
For no reason, Doug. I apologize.
Well, they're noticeably chipped.
Yeah.
What happened? And how many?
And what does the other guy look like?
Stick to politics.
Ouch, Hal Linden.
Someone has had it with the Stuntbrain.
Dooby. My front two teeth broke on Thursday morning before I even got a chance to eat anything for Thanksgiving. So, the nerve was exposed. And so my Thanksgiving was mashed potatoes and cranberry
But
sauce.
how did they break?
I bit down on a...
frozen turkey.
No, on a BLT, of all things, and boom, just snapped.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
And on Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving.
So it's easy to find a dentist on Thanksgiving.
No, because when you call and is an emergency, kinda. There's a little blood and there's a lot of pain, so a nerve is exposed. Well, it's still considered cosmetic. It wasn't an official emergency.
Yeah.
So I had to wait till today in order to make an appointment to go have them look. So I still have a few more days before.
So is the nerve still exposed?
I don't know if it is anymore. It doesn't hurt after the second day. The pain went away, so it's either dead or it covered or something.
Let's get some cold beverages going. And
No,
see
it's
if
fine. I've been drinking iced tea
you're
all
good?
day. Yeah, it's good.
You're lucky you didn't grow up in my house. You wouldn't be going to the dentist anytime soon.
Till
with
the
that.
spring.
Exactly.
Silly
Do you have
putty.
a lot of dentist teeth issues?
No, not really.
So why? Can they explain why there was just something that hard in the sandwich that broke them?
This front tooth over here I had repaired a while back just because of the way my bottom teeth are. It was pressing on behind it, and it just made it kind of weak.
Right.
So when they put this new thing on there, when that broke, it affected the other tooth now too from the back. So the front here is broken, and the back of this one is broken. So now I have to go get crowns.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got a very similar story. I only have one crown in my mouth, and I broke it on hummus.
Yeah, I've
Exactly.
broken
That sounds
teeth
stupid.
I've broken teeth on stuff that's soft. Also, it's just a weird.
It was just time.
the tooth is kind of gonna go anyway.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't the hummus itself, but eating the hummus, the two teeth probably came together.
No, there's a tremendous amount of pressure. Like when he was eating that sandwich, like if somebody's finger had been in there, he probably would have bit it off of them.
Yeah,
you know. So you just.
What do you think I eat?
He just hits at a weird angle. No, I'm teasing you a little bit, but also. It is more, you're putting more pressure on the teeth than they can, possibly handle. If
when
you
it
just
when
hit
it happened
wrong.
to me, I felt the tooth in my mouth or part of it, and I thought it was like a pit. Like an olive pit
Right.
from the hummus or something.
Yeah, and then you always
I
realize,
pulled it
no,
out,
this
I'm
is part of me.
like, what the fuck?
Fell out, yeah.
Did you try to put it back in and glue it?
No, I did not stunt brain.
Why not?
I went to the dentist and I got my first crown.
But now, E-Rock,
I should get veneers.
did you call here in the city or did you
I'm
call
not
out in
getting
Jersey?
Will you stop with me in veneers? Or
I
was
want to
that
get
for-
veneers. I just
So
can't
get
afford
'em.
them.
Oh, it's a horrible process, though.
Don't
Getting
they
veneers.
Don't
Didn't
they
you see-
file them down to
They
little points?
file your fucking teeth down
Get
to little
the fuck
vampire
outta
pointy
here.
teeth.
No.
Didn't Voss show us how he got his?
Voss had
It was
fucked up
scary.
teeth all his life.
Yeah. Your teeth are all right, aren't they, E-Rock?
My teeth are fine.
Then why would you want veneers?
Because they look cool.
You're going to go to Hollywood?
You're on
Getting
the
ready
radio.
for Hollywood?
It's the white man's grill.
I might have to get old man braces because I'm thinking of getting my bottoms finally straightened.
Well, they make them. They have those clear things now.
Yeah, I know, but they said I would talk shitty, and I'm like, well, have you heard my show?
That stuff seems uncomfortable.
Yeah, because
It'd be hard to sleep with the adult braces on.
you got different trays. It's the Invisalign or whatever it's called, and then the different trays you got to switch them out every couple weeks. So every time you put the new one in, that's when it hurts because that's when it's pulling it, pulling it apart or putting it in its position slowly but surely. I don't know. I'm thinking.
Why don't you have Theo work on it? Wasn't he saying he did his own dentistry?
Another person that listens to the show when they're not here.
I do.
I love this.
Theo makes me laugh.
I was sitting here like, Theo who? Who's he even talking about? And I already brought up Theo earlier.
Theo says he does his own dentistry. I know someone else that does that too. They clean their own teeth.
He got the kit. He scrapes.
But you're
his
not
own
getting
teeth.
everything.
No.
But that's. Would you clean your own teeth if someone showed you how to do it?
No, because I'm terrible at. They showed me how to floss my teeth, and I'm bad at that. But
How are you bad at flossing?
well, having no enthusiasm for it, and
okay.
getting not getting every. Going through every single one every time.
They have those little bristle brushes too, that slides in and
yeah,
out.
those things are cool. I used those for a while.
Oh
but,
boy, but those things could smell.
Yo, boy. Well, you don't save them.
They're single use.
I put mine behind my ear. Walk around the city.
It becomes habit forming, though. I'll put it in my pocket, and I'll just keep going to town all day on that.
But all of that stuff, they just said recently the flossing is it's been overhyped by the dentistry world.
But you definitely do feel different after you do it.
Yeah.
It does feel better.
When you feel a piece of shrimp that you ate about a week ago rotting away in the back, and then you tell me that flossing's overrated.
Well,
when you pop that baby out, and then you're like, holy fuck.
You used to have food pocket issues.
You talked about
that. That's beyond
different.
flossing.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're going back in time with the radio show.
Yeah. I used to have these horrendous food pockets.
I fixed my food pocket, Doug. That was another thing I did when I got
How
some
do you
money.
fix it?
They had to close it up a little bit. I don't know. They close the space in
put
between
some-
the teeth or whatever.
some
I don't know what a
cement
food
in
pocket
there.
is
Some
officially.
Saccharine in there.
But some food would get stuck in there all the time and just kind of stew.
Now they got some of the electric toothbrushes now are so crazy high speed that it's so close to being what dentists do when they clean your
Really?
teeth with the fluoride one.
How do I get one of those?
So I'm just telling you, they're getting more and more.
Amazon.
It's getting more and more to the point where someone probably could just take care of their own teeth and not go to the dentist, or just go every once in a while just to make sure there's nothing major that you can't spot or something.
Well, it's the back of the
we
teeth.
need a dentist to call in and say Doug knows movies, but he doesn't know dentistry.
Wait, there it is. Sonicare Diamond Clean Rechargeable Toothbrush. That might be the one you're talking
That might
about.
be it, though. I've got one that just like it goes so fast, it just feels like you're at the dentist, not at home.
Wow.
Does it do the tongue scrape too?
Huge fan of the tongue
I don't want to
scrape.
get into the whole.
Do you check out what comes off your tongue?
Yeah,
Give it a
the
little
tongue
sniff every once in a
tongue
while?
is gross.
Why did you do it just sniffing everything? Just be a human being, spit it out, rinse, and go on with your day.
You have no spit. You're not curious?
No.
You ever itch the top of your ass crack? Not where the hole is, but pretty high, and then you take a sniff to see what's going on there? Oh, all right, just asking.
Take a core
You have
sample.
a lot of free time.
I didn't say I did that. I was asking if you did that.
No.
Hey, Stuntbrain, what do you got on this Fidel Castro?
He's dead.
I'm very confused, though. Why are people like praising him, and then obviously a lot of people are not? But you got
People who are here who got out.
What about Trudeau in Canada?
Well, Canada, socialist, basically. His dad was a socialist. He's a socialist. The best was Greg Gutfeld, who said Trudeau should be leading a boy band. And even at that, a bad one, like O-Town.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trudeau is, he's a socialist, a uber liberal. So he wants the
I don't
government
care for that anti-O-Town talk.
I'm sorry.
That's your line today.
Wait, okay, I want to unpack more of that, though. What was the first thing you said?
About Trudeau being a socialist.
Oh, yeah. Well, but Trudeau's good in some ways, isn't he? Or do you think he's a complete mess?
Well,
They love him up there, right?
He's
Well, they
lovable.
just elected him.
He's got.
He's telegenic.
It seems like what he said about Castro was trying to be, state.
it was more personable than it was presidential or prime ministerial.
Okay.
Because his dad and Castro had a relationship.
Okay.
So,
I just feel like Castro's complicated. I don't feel like
murdering people, locking up the gays, making people with AIDS and HIV live in a separate community because he wanted them quarantined because he was afraid of them, controlling education, all communication. Yeah, he's complicated.
But so why do people like him then?
Because they didn't know any better. The people who are there,
They didn't know. 'Cause they don't
didn't-
have Twitter there.
They don't have Twitter. They don't have the internet. We knew about Castro being dead before they did.
Do they have iPads?
No, only if they
Flip
steal
phones?
them from the Kardashians when they get there.
Nintendo?
No,
Where are they at? Atari?
they're probably about Intellivision.
Yeah.
It's a long.
He
time
started
ago.
out as a hero, though.
Well, he was a revolutionary
Yeah.
who overthrew a bad guy.
There
but
you go.
replaced
See, I
him-
knew there was some good stuff in there,
replaced him as a worse guy,
and then became worse. Okay.
and walked around in the uniform while he lived like a king behind the palace doors.
There was a lot of promise, though. He lived up in the mountains, and he said, "I'm doing this," and he did
Yeah.
it, and everyone was extremely excited. And then he turns
Sure.
out to be worse than the guy he overthrew.
Yeah,
right?
he in '59 he basically nationalized the whole country. One of the best industries they had in the late
Sugar.
'50s was bat shit. Guano. And he nationalized the bat caves, took all the guano, took every egg from every chicken, and said, "We're here and we're throwing Santa out. No more Santa because it's a tool of the imperialist West." And then he canceled Christmas from '69 to '97 because of the sugar harvest. They moved Christmas to July.
I like
they-
that.
That's
That
not
sounds cool.
That's not canceling it.
No, well,
Who doesn't like Christmas in July? That's kind
Sounds
of
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
well, the rest of the world is celebrating.
Oh, I
at a
thought
different
I
time.
thought he canceled.
Well, he
it.
did. He did cancel. You couldn't. It was an atheist country. You couldn't get if you were a
Oh my
Christian.
God, I
You couldn't
don't-
get baptized
This is
if
where I
you
get in
wanted
trouble.
to.
I,
What?
at this point, I don't look at Christmas as a religious
Oh,
holiday.
It's not. It's a retail holiday.
People are like, how
But
dare you? But it's more retail than religious.
But there are people who still celebrate the spirit of Christmas as the birth
Yeah,
of
no,
Christ.
I understand.
But that was
And I-
outlawed.
and I don't question that if people do that. But I look at it like this is like all about Black Friday and retail.
Sure,
and
and
But all the stuff
Cyber Monday.
all the stuff that goes with it, though, still the religion creeps into most of the songs
Creeps.
and most of the there's like an angel on the top of the tree and that
yeah,
kind
I
of thing.
understand that. But you're just looking at a cool Christmas tree.
I'm not.
angel
I just
top
don't do
and-
Christmas at all. I like the season. I like that
Do you
everybody's.
do any holidays?
Nuh-uh.
I'm starting to feel bad for Doug Benson.
No, I don't do shit on the holidays.
He
My
doesn't do
life is a
Thanksgiving-
holiday.
You don't do Thanksgiving and you don't do Christmas.
I get to wear costumes and get presents and
Every
buy
day is
things.
Christmas.
Yeah, it's really
Hang with gnomes. and-
Yeah, life is pretty good. So I don't need to
That's the way to be, though.
And
because-
I don't have that religious, I don't have the religious reason for getting into it, And I don't like. That's why I like New York, is because on Christmas, comedy clubs stay open, but everywhere else in the country they close because they treat it more like a religious thing. And nobody wants to work, but what's wrong with making a little money, making people laugh?
So you work on Christmas?
Why not make the Asians and the Jews laugh on Christmas? Is what I say, or the European tourists that are here, because it's cheap to be in New York during Christmas week.
Do you work Christmas?
I'll do. When I lived here, I did sets at the down at the Cellar and stuff on Christmas. And I was totally into it. It was exciting to me that there's a vibrant, a nightclub full of people on Christmas because my whole life as a stand-up comic, I've never done shows on Christmas unless it was here.
Do you buy presents for people, or do people buy you something?
No, I don't.
That's the way to be, Stuntbrain.
I put it out there that I'm not going to get anybody anything, and the people have gotten the message, so nobody ever buys me anything. I'll just get a random bottle every once in a while of Tito's or something.
Right. That's strong. I got to tell my kids that. It's the way to go.
Yeah.
Less stress.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about it.
Less fucking stress. We all stress out. It's not fun. This isn't fun.
Presents
Who
should be
finds this
something you
fun?
do when you see something. When you see a need, you see us.
Right.
You see like Club Soda Kenny needs a shirt to wear to the gym. I'm going to give him a Douglas movie shirt. That's how presents should work.
Are you referring to my pre-show on Facebook Live that we did today? Those numbers should go up.
That's a callback to the Facebook. I forgot that we didn't do that on the air.
No, we did not.
I thought you were referring to the picture of Kenny at the gym.
It's also just a funny thing to say. Club Soda Kenny needs a shirt to wear to the gym.
Yeah.
You don't get to say that sentence very often.
Although Christmas, I feel good about Christmas again because I have kids.
Kids make it, yeah.
But
the
I
whole
tapped
thing.
out. I tapped out for, God, at least a decade. Tapped out.
What about you and the wife? Do you guys have a special Christmas thing that
Last year we
you
barely
do,
bought anything for each other.
but just for the kids?
Yeah, I think we're heading down that road a little bit.
impractical. There's no,
A little bit. We'll still buy each other some stuff, but nothing over the top crazy.
Oh, honey, you got me something that I pretend to want. I pretend to be happy about. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then it's in a drawer.
You nailed it. You said presents are for a need. And how many real needs do you have at this point?
Or you'll stumble across something. It's like, I guess some people can have the willpower to like see something in June that they think their spouse would love and buy it and save it for Christmas. But
Sure. But that's hard to do.
What if you die during the interim and didn't tell anybody where you hid it?
Right. Well, right. I just go right.
And if it was really good,
I just go, yeah, right. I hate the gluttony of it. The amount of stuff kids want for Christmas.
Oh my God!
And they're just throwing the gift to get to the next one.
Yeah. What else? What else did I get?
Wow. But I mean, they're so excited over the top. Let them enjoy it.
They enjoy it.
I'm sure I enjoy it.
Everybody enjoys it
in a different way.
their own ways.
and what does that special school do for the kids? Do they outlaw Christmas parties?
No, we're back at both schools for my kids. We're in again. We're in.
Because birthdays are different, aren't they? Are they? You were saying they don't have cookies and they don't have all the celebrations and stuff.
You want to get me going?
I don't know. I'm curious.
We have to go to every birthday party for every classmate. That's where they're at these days.
So Hal Linden is in the building.
You want to get into this? Because when I was growing up, you pick and choose, and you weren't invited to all the birthday parties. But you also understood, like, yeah, of course I'm not invited to that kid's birthday. We're not friends.
Yeah.
But not nowadays, man. When your kid has a birthday party, you have to invite the entire class. So you know what that means? You're going to a lot of birthday
That
parties.
stinks. So you're going to a lot of bar mitzvahs too?
God, no.
Are you gonna?
No.
Your
Why?
kid doesn't integrate with Jewish kids?
I don't know if we know it yet.
I went to some bar mitzvahs when I was a kid, and I was like, "This fucking scam. This is fucking sweet.
There's money involved.
Yeah, I was like, "Where do I get my bar mitzvah?" And they're like, "Nope,
Yeah, that would be
not
nice.
gonna happen."
Confirmation and nothing. You get nothing. You
Confirmation
get a cake.
is we got some things. Nothing like
Not like a bar mitzvah.
nothing like that.
I had to go to cotillion.
The hell's
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's standing against one wall and girls standing against the other, and then they force you to dance with each other.
what's wrong with that?
Well, that they're forcing you. You know, you're like 12. You're not ready to be like dancing with a girl and like
Right.
holding her and all that.
Nothing worse when in those situations where you see the girl moving her spot.
Yeah.
When you
No, yeah, I also probably
Did you
wasn't the
move your
first one
spot?
picked.
where you're lined up and you're like, okay, I'm all right. The 10th girl's mine, and then you're like, why is she moving her spot? Fuck, she hates me. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's not. All of that is bad.
All of that is bad.
School dance. I mean, that's what really creates the nerds and comedians of this world is school dances. That's where you really find out where your place is. Like, if you're not being amusing, then
Right.
you're not needed.
Are you?
You're not needed.
Are you old enough where you had to do square dancing during gym class?
I might have done a
Stuntbrain's
little
gotta be
bit
old enough for
of
that.
I seem to recall having to square dance from time to time, but
Why square dancing? The fuck is
It
that?
almost caught on.
do-si-do.
It was a
and-
thing.
It was stupid.
We had to take ballroom dancing in college
Take it.
and fencing.
Sorry, that word's not nice.
No, it's not.
What else about Fidel Castro?
You know, they're saying, hey, they got the younger guy in, and his brother's 85.
Yeah.
They're going to be reunited before anybody knows it. But the big deal is people are worried about what Trump's going to do.
Right.
Because the deal that Obama did, and he thought it was a good deal,
Yeah.
lessening tensions, opening up travel, etc.
Right.
But we got nothing out of it. You know, there's a convicted cop killer from New Jersey who's hiding in Cuba, and everybody knows where she is, but they won't turn her over to us. She escaped. Guilty. She was involved in the killing of a trooper. She's been on the FBI's most wanted list for like 15 years, but they won't bring her back.
Yeah.
Because we have to be friends now. But the problem with the deal with the lessening of tensions, the Cuban government used this just to bring in American money. And they tax the tourism money different than they tax like local business. If you're a Cuban, you own a restaurant, and I'm a Cuban and I buy from you, it's taxed at one rate. But if you open a hotel, the government comes in and takes even more of the money. So it's just a way to generate more tax revenue for the government to pay them because they used to rely on the Soviets.
So according to Obama's deal, what did we get out of it?
Nothing. We got.
So why would we do that deal?
He's thinking future. Obama is actually literally on this thinking, we're going to show them how nice we are. But no dictator ever says, gee, they're nice. Let's let more freedom happen. But that's what Obama was up to. I can't fault him because that's how he deals with things, but I think he's a bad negotiator.
The one thing that Fidel Castro did that was brilliant, there was a time, I forgot what year, he made American money legal in Cuba.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time, that wasn't the case. So you're one of the lucky ones. You got out of Cuba. You're living in, in Miami, and now you're trying to send money back to your family in Cuba, and it's American money. And then that was a whole black market thing where they had to figure out how to exchange the American money for whatever they call money down in Cuba. I really don't know. Does anyone know?
Cuban. I think it's pesos, actually. Cuban pesos. I'm not sure.
My guess would be pesos, but I wasn't sure. So then he was like, whoa, I know how I get a lot more revenue into this country. He made American money legal. So all these families from Miami sending money over to Cuba, now those people could use that American actual money to,
But then the government then makes you turn in that money, so they're now hoarding U.S. dollars, which makes them more powerful.
I'm not saying it was the greatest thing for the citizens, but it was more smart on Castro's.
He's not a dummy,
right?
The guy. First of all, he's brought power to the sports programs of Cuba. But look at the guys who get out. What was his name? El Duque with the Yankees, dressed as a woman to sneak out of the country.
Yeah.
Guys make themselves dragged in order to get out.
Right.
It's long been that, but they've got great baseball, great boxing, but there's not a whole lot of freedom.
Right. All right. What else in politics today?
Oh, a big mess over Trump Tower. I don't know if you've been by there lately, but there are more meetings today, and this whole deal with Romney and the way that the transition team has been trashing Romney for the last 2 days.
Well, Conway was, right?
Newt and Conway. And it's like Conway, even Trump's reportedly not happy with her for trashing what's his name? Romney. Yeah. And I think Romney ultimately will get the deal. But then again, I thought Hillary was going to win, too.
Does this drive you nuts that all the people that were trashing Trump horribly, saying basically he's not qualified for the position, now Trump's looking to fill a position?
No, look at what Hillary said about Obama in 2008.
See, it's
the same thing.
But don't go there. I know both sides do this.
Yeah.
But it should frustrate us, the people, that they don't mean any of this shit.
Well, if you don't hire some of the people who are past D.C. regulars.
Right.
You don't bring in some of those old politicians, but you're going to have a hard time working
inside the system.
There
was a montage video of Romney, all the horrendous things he was saying about Trump, and now they're buddy-buddy.
Trump and
shit.
Yeah, they've all said horrible things. Look at what Rubio
and I acknowledge
said.
that they do it on the other side, too. I'm not trying to say, the Democrats are better.
They don't. I mean, they do say they talk shit about each other, but Trump especially just found a way to just people running for president don't call each other loser and, all the things that, just how Trump acted when he sat down with Obama was just a sign that he's just he's not going to be a bully to people's faces.
Right.
When he went down to Mexico, the wall didn't come up.
Right.
Yeah.
But what do you think Trump's going to? What are they worried Trump's going to do about Cuba and Castro being gone?
They think he's going to tear up the Obama deal and say you want in all these American businesses. American Airlines landed there today with the first regularly scheduled flight. JetBlue today too. They followed him, but American had the first scheduled flight from America to Havana.
That happened today?
Yeah.
No kidding.
But to go on it, you have to be one of 12 things. There's a list of things you have to be to qualify.
That was previous. Now it's open for business.
Now you don't need that
American
anymore.
Airlines sending the first
Anybody
flights
can go.
You can buy if there's room on the flights.
Wow.
So now those airlines are going to want to keep that business because that's huge business for them, especially out of that Miami to Havana hub. It's 90 miles.
Right.
It's not a long flight. You can charge a bunch of money.
So if the deal's gone, then the airlines can't do it. And they can't make money.
Right.
And then how does that hurt Trump?
Well,
why would he? Does he need? Does he own any of the airlines?
No. Well, we don't know because we don't know what's in his portfolio.
Right.
But Trump will want Castro to maybe make a few changes. And I'm talking about Raul, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to say, all right, well, we're going to release some of the political prisoners because they built gulags. They built freaking concentration camps where they've locked up.
But that's where Trump's interest is. It's to get in there and deal with the human rights situations down there.
It might be to build a golf course.
Right?
Who knows?
That's what I mean.
Who knows?
I don't think his heart's in the right place.
Thank you. I think we could agree that has nothing to do with human rights with Mr.
But that's
Trump.
his way in. That's his way in to make a deal, to shape the deal. First of all, he'll say, I tore up the Obama deal where we got nothing, and I brought in the Trump deal where we got this. And that's what he's going to be about. He's about winning. He's going to want to say that.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to watch. He's going to go after it from that standpoint.
All right. And that's it for politics today, hopefully?
I don't think there's a whole lot going on out there until we get the recount thing, which won't do anything.
Right.
The Jill Stein recount, even if Hillary wins all three.
What about Trump saying all those people voted for Hillary illegally?
They should take that Twitter away from him at night.
It's brutal.
It
how
really
he
was.
tweets those things. It just confuse. If he just lays low, he'd be so much.
He wins.
He'd be in such better shape.
He wins big time.
Or just go on and brag about something else, like
Right.
you know, he does get accused of changing the topic all the time, but I don't think it's that calculated. I think he just changes the topic because it goes after the new thing that pissed him off.
Yeah.
You know, he's just always tweeting whatever. So Romney is going to be the pick, you think?
That's my thinking. And I think it makes sense. And, you know, the guy, everybody says, well, he has no international experience like the general or like Rudy. Rudy doesn't have international experience except for running his terrorism consulting business.
Right, and all the trips he makes to Transylvania.
To get more fresh blood.
Thumbs up.
But Mitt ran the Olympics, so he's dealt with every country.
Yeah, he invented the Olympics.
And
he did the day after Al Gore invented the internet. They're like, these politicians do more than just...
Yeah.
Well, he did run it, make it profitable. He ran the Salt Lake City Olympics.
Absolutely,
So-
but he ran for president on that pretty much.
Yeah.
That was his thing.
And he was a governor.
I was good with the Olympics.
He was a governor who brought health care to Massachusetts. Romney Care worked for Massachusetts for a while, so
yeah,
he's got some experience.
Then he had to debate Obama about what a bad idea it is.
Isn't that interesting?
His own thing, which is, that's what's going to happen with all these politicians. But it just seems like now they get much uglier to begin with.
Yeah.
So now when they make up, it just seems even more false.
We didn't do that. We love you. Let's come together.
Yeah, I know it's been part of politics forever, but it just seems way worse.
You thought you were getting out of it when you got Trump.
What do you mean?
You thought all that was going to kind of go away once Trump won, that it wasn't going to be politics
He's backing
as
down
usual.
from a lot of things, so I'm wondering...
He's back down from almost everything.
I was being polite, but I'm wondering if the hardcore Trump supporters getting a little pissed off.
They might be.
They really believed in him when he's like, build this wall, fuck her in the ass, all that stuff he was saying up there.
Lock her up, I believe.
It was lock her up. I'm sorry. Lock her up.
Yeah,
they believed in all that.
her.
Like, we're really going to fucking do this. Well, and now it's
a fence.
It's becoming obvious we're not really going to do a lot of this
but
stuff.
it just also feels like, though, they're still on the winning team. You know, like they still voted for him and he won. So, like, I think, just like how ramping up to the election, it doesn't seem like there was anything he could do to scare off his own supporters.
Right.
And so now I just feel like they're going to be the same way about his presidency. They'll like just say, well, he's in there, so things are going to get better.
Well, you also remember that you talked about this before in 2008 and before then even. You get in, you get that first briefing and you open the book and you go, holy shit.
But you understand
all
what
of
the
this
job
stuff
really
is going on.
Yeah, Pence, take over the briefings.
Mike, come here.
You're the briefings guy. Let me know if they bring up anything interesting.
And that's what's happening. He's been to 2 briefings since the election.
Can we all agree he doesn't want to work? So, I mean, his thing is he wants to find the very qualified people to do most of the heavy lifting.
Well, that's
right?
what a CEO does.
No, I'm just...
he wants to be a CEO.
But I think Obama, rolled up his sleeves and gotten involved way more than I think Trump's going to.
Obama also hired some pretty high-powered people. Hillary Clinton was a big-time politician when he made her Secretary of State, and Kerry is a guy who's had a bunch of experience too. And look at Joe Biden. Biden was overseas more than anybody. Biden had foreign policy chops like nobody knew.
Yeah.
So he hired good people. The same thing. Is Trump going to do that?
Yeah.
He's ahead of Obama in terms of hiring,
right,
compared to Obama's first term.
Backing up just slightly, so then they trash each other, and then the media goes, that's what they do. They'll say anything to get elected, and now here's the real person. When they say that drives me nuts.
But they've started to not do that with Trump. Have you noticed that? CNN saying, yeah, but... he said some real terrible things about Mr. Trump.
Right.
And I think that's what Conway's been.
You mean Romney?
Yeah.
I love it too. They just had a Trump tweet up there complaining about how the media is not covering, but they're showing the tweet, so it's been covered
everywhere.
Now people are hearing about it.
But they're mocking it. The Virginia.
They are saying it's ridiculous that he's tweeting these things.
And I want him to keep his Twitter. I think it's entertaining as
It's the greatest.
It's unbelievable. We got a president that
Remember the stink that was made about Obama's BlackBerry? We can't let him have a BlackBerry. Well, you got a president coming in who's tweeting all the time.
A BlackBerry.
Remember that?
Really, Stuntbrain?
I'm just calling back.
A BlackBerry.
Yeah. African-American berry, I know.
Doug Benson, where are we going to be? You got to promote something.
Yeah, tomorrow night, Los Angeles, the Troubadour, Getting Doug with High live. 7 o'clock, I think, is when we start her up, and tickets are on sale. You go to douglovesmovies.com for that show and all my other upcoming stuff.
Very good. And Stuntbrain?
Just The Blaze. Doing mornings on The Blaze this week, Monday through Wednesday on The Blaze Radio, theblaze.com.
All right. And Dr. Steve just wrote me. Fuck. Okay, good. I'm not sending you shit for Christmas this year. And Dr. Steve's one of those, he sends good stuff. Why do I have to say that on the radio?
Yeah, but you price check his wines or you give it away.
He price checks everybody's wines.
I know.
I brought him a case of wines with a wine for every month, and he checked every damn one of them.
Of course he did.
And you don't have to get him anything. That's the great part about it.
I'm trying to think if I've given Steve stuff. I think I've given you stuff, right, Steve?
Agita.
Wow.
I told
no
you.
wonder Hal Linden hates you.
You gave him the precious 5 a.m. Saturday slot.
That's E-Rock. That's E-Rock. Giving him
sorry.
What is it, Tuesday at 4 a.m.?
Is that really what it is?
Dr. Steve is available on demand with SiriusXM.
Yeah, just listen to it whenever you want to.
Old and new episodes.
No, what does he call it, though? He says
Wednesdays at 4 a.m.
or at your pleasure?
At my convenience.
Convenience or whatever he said, yeah. All right, so I check wine on wine.com. Is that a bad thing? Is that bad? I said earlier on this very show, I can't help
people
myself.
never give me anything that's worth anything, but if they did, I'd look it up, see what it's worth.
I was a big wine drinker for a while. I don't really like wine anymore.
Somebody gives you tickets to something, you go on the site and find where the seat is.
Yes, of
Did you give
course
me a
you
good
do.
seat, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I understand that, but you're still going to the show, right?
It's fun to know how much the wine is. Well, you won't drink it if it's not expensive?
No, he gives it away. Somebody else.
Oh, I see.
There's always someone that can appreciate a bottle of wine.
He has a certain threshold.
And you just hope that they don't look it up.
If you really get into wine, and I did for a while, you understand.
Yeah.
You understand. You gotta.
You move it around.
Yeah, you move it around a little bit.
Somebody's gonna be desperate enough to drink this swill.
If you get seven,
if you keep it moving.
If you get 7 bottles and there's a couple in there that are less than $15 a bottle on wine.com. They
Just
make wonderful Christmas gifts for other people.
Do you have bottles of wine sitting around there like worth a ton of money?
No, nothing.
You
like
don't do
that.
anything like that?
I don't even think I have a bottle of wine in the house at this point. I just don't like wine anymore. I don't know what happened. I think as I got older, the wine headaches are bad.
Yeah,
I don't like drinking in general anymore. Really, a few beers here and there on the weekends, but nothing crazy. Edibles, though.
You need to get Montel in here and talk about his business.
Edibles. Chocolate bars. You got any chocolate
The
bars?
gummies.
Montel Williams, I'm sure you know a lot of Montels.
The gummies.
The gummy bears.
Yeah, all that stuff's fun.
They have jam, too, now. You can put on your English muffins that has an infusion.
A little taste.
Yeah.
E-Rock, are we promoting anything? Are we good?
We're good for now.
All right, so...
We have to do some live reads. So.
Yeah, we got to do live reads. We'll be back. Hanging with Doug Benson. I thought I was going to do a couple days with you, Doug, but you got to get back to L.A.
Yeah, this is it, man.
It's been a lot of fun so far.
But I can make 3 hours feel like a couple of days.
And we got Stuntbrain.
Hey.
And we got Club Soda Kenny.
I just want to say one thing.
Shit.
Did you get new T-shirts for the holiday season?
Yes, I did, Kenny. Yes, I did.
I thought so.
We just restocked, actually.
OpieRadio.com?
Yes. Just in time for Cyber Monday.
Yeah, it makes a great holiday gift.
Doing any deals?
Huh?
Are you doing any deals?
Yeah, I forgot to do the deal thing. Aren't you supposed to do that for your Cyber Monday?
Should we put in a code?
I forgot about all that. Maybe I'll quickly bundle some things together for Christmas. And Hanukkah for you jizz. Anything else, Kenny?
No, good luck with that.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. We didn't set this up ahead of time. I promised the people.
No, I heard the news, so I wanted to spread the news.
Right. By the way, those shorts were rough to look at on Facebook. Was that a Facebook picture?
You at the gym?
No.
That was a personal picture.
Oh, you didn't post that?
Yeah, I posted it to my personal page. And what I mean by personal is it's a page that is personal and not my fan page.
You got to put it on your fan page.
No.
The Disney picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those were spectacular.
Wait, you got a.
We're Facebook pals.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe if you blur out the kids' faces, because then
No. And I want to follow.
Wait, why are you
Stuntbrain.
saying no like that? You don't want people to see your shorts?
No. There's other people involved.
That's what I mean. You blur them out.
But they've grown up by now.
Or we do
It doesn't matter.
How about we do a zoom in on just the shorts
How about we change the subject?
before you lose some teeth? Yes, sir.
You know, I want to follow Stuntbrain on Instagram, but he's got 2 pages.
I have to figure out how that happened. I still don't know how that happened.
Yeah, you got one in your name and one in your pseudonym.
Well, follow the one that the latest picture is up.
How about you follow me and I'll follow you
And
back?
how about you just post on one of the accounts, and then the other one will slowly go away.
I think I've only been posting on
and then
one
the
of
other one,
accounts.
you go, look, I'm not posting pictures here anymore. You go to the other thing, and then those people will move over.
I think I've only been posting on one of them.
Wow,
Right?
that
You know, one time Doug Benson did a nice thing for me.
What did he do?
He tweeted for people to follow me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Did he get followers out of that?
Talking about wanting more followers. It's hard to track if I had any impact, but I like to help out.
Did it have any impact?
Doug Benson has impact.
I remember the days when you had someone big that would, give you a mention. You would see your follows go way up. Nowadays,
it's a little more flatlining because I think people unfollow a lot as much as they follow.
I don't think
I think you have more followers than Rosie O'Donnell.
That's possible.
That's not saying much.
I mean,
No, I'm just saying she's been around a
Trump's
while.
never called me a gross pig, so I got that going for me.
But Rosie's now saying that his kid might have autism. That wasn't right.
That was a little off.
That was her trying to get back at all the shit that Trump's given her.
I haven't seen enough of that kid to think that, but now that she put that idea into my head, I'll run with it.
She's got a touch more than you. I think she picked up more after she said Barron might be on the spectrum.
And why
would she say that? Like that's I mean,
that was a dick move.
It was a mean thing for her to say, but I mean, he definitely
he's 10.
Trump definitely started it with her, but she didn't need to go to that.
But he didn't talk about her kids.
But that's like the stand-up comic side of her that like is just going to take the one thing that's probably the meanest thing you could say to Trump is that her kid is retarded. So
it's a dick move, and how
she went there,
and how she did it is even shittier because she's making. I think she's making believe like, look, I'm only saying this because he could do a lot for autism and bullshit.
Yeah.
You wanted a fucking punch back, so why don't you just admit that as a comic? Because that's what comics do. They hit hard back, right?
Yeah, that's What did Trump respond to that?
No.
He's probably going to walk away from that one.
Well, I don't know if he's gonna. He can't walk away from anything. We've learned that.
But he can't. And I don't think he can really jump on there saying, my son is smart or whatever he'd say.
Right.
Because saying my son is not autistic, like you're insulted. Like people have a choice of whether their children are autistic or not.
Right.
There's really nowhere for him to go back at her. And he can't talk about her appearance.
Rosie's taking a lot of abuse from Trump, but it was a dick move on her part.
Yeah, it's just.
And I don't believe she was saying it to create more awareness for autism.
When it comes to saying things about him, I think it's really hard to go too far. But especially if his kid really does have any
there's plenty
issues, that's pretty mean.
Plenty of stuff to go after Trump for personally than going that low. I think.
Yeah.
CNN accidentally airs transsexual porn on Thanksgiving, and we got Stuntbrain here to really set everyone straight on this because people have been talking about this for the last couple of days. So the story goes, I think it was in Boston.
Yeah.
Part of a cable provider. Their CNN, instead of having Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown, it was transsexual porn that was shown in the Boston area for possibly 300,000 customers. 300,000, and then how many of those people are actually watching?
Yeah, overnight.
Anthony Bourdain overnight. And then what happened was CNN went, holy shit, and they apologized for having transsexual porn on CNN instead of Anthony Bourdain. And then you're telling me, I didn't know this until today. Yeah, take it from there.
Yeah, based on what I've seen, it didn't happen. That somebody posted this picture and it's kind of blurred out of hardcore porn on Twitter, and it said CNN airs 30 minutes of hardcore porn.
Yeah,
and it didn't happen. And CNN apologized for it happening when it didn't happen
because they panicked.
Yeah, and
do they think it just happened in some markets, or
well, they initially said only Boston, and I think it was originally slated to come from the RCN. So what you would have is a guy running the RCN feed, and he's got all those dishes pulling down the signals and sending them out over their interconnect to all of their subscribers. And who the assumption is some guy pulled up a porn feed while he was doing his job and accidentally plugged it into the CNN feed. But apparently it didn't happen. It was a fake story, got tweeted out, and everybody at CNN lost their mind and apologized.
Right.
But it didn't happen.
And then they try to say, look, it didn't happen. But it was too late at that point because they
apologized for something that didn't happen.
Right.
So that's the knee-jerk reaction, just apologize immediately.
Make it go away. And then they're like, wait a minute, hold on. Actually, we never did this.
Because we saw it and instantly started pulling up because you can get a feed of anything anywhere in the country instantly 5 minutes after it happened, and we couldn't find it. So we're like, this didn't happen. But it's all over Twitter. It went everywhere on Twitter and Facebook, that same still frame of the transsexual porn image. But no, didn't happen.
Lies can spread fast these days.
And this is why Obama's telling everybody, the fake news world, we need to be in control of it.
We're looking at a pixelated picture there. Why so much pink? What was that supposed to be?
The panties?
Yeah.
That'd be
usually if you squint,
that would be the obvious answer.
But it's the truth.
Yeah.
But if you squint, usually your brain will make it work, and I think that's what it is.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
If you squint at something that's been pixelated,
I'm getting mad now. Yes, it does.
Those squares are too big. They can't even.
The problem is those pixelated squares are too big.
They're very big.
If they're smaller pixelated squares, it's an old trick.
You can kind of make it out.
You squint, and it all comes into view.
I see what you're saying.
So, all right.
You jerked off to a lot of that stuff, is what you're saying. You jerked off to a lot of pixelated images.
Well, I come from the land of scrambled porn.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then every once in a while, it would right itself.
Yeah, you tune in between the channels.
You would see it for a split second, and when you're just a teenage boy with 1 million hard-ons per day, that was enough. That's all you needed. Too much information. All right.
Too many hard-ons. A million a day.
I'm doing the math in my head.
How do you get anything done?
24 hours divided by
do you remember
times 60 times 24.
When you were 14, let's put it at 14. How many do you think you got a day?
I don't know. I had a teacher named Dorothy Dick, and we had to say, Miss Dick.
Of course.
And she lasted about a month.
Dude, it was all day long at school. Yeah. What was the number, you think, if you had to guess? Trying to remember back.
I never kept count.
But you remember those days where you had those ragers.
Well, they
kind of hurt, too.
I went to all-boys Catholic school.
Because you had a brand-new muscle down there and everything.
It's not a muscle.
Wonderful blood flow. I know.
It's an elaborate network of capillaries.
I understand.
All I want for Christmas is a new muscle.
All right.
You can have a lot of fun with that Two Front Teeth song there, E-Rock.
Oh, wow.
For the holidays. Perfect timing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying he did this on purpose?
Yeah. Yeah. Last year he kept a girl in honor of its baby. It's cold outside. This year he's lost some teeth for All I Want for Christmas.
I had great black stories for Sherrod Small, but he blew us off today.
Great what stories?
Black stories.
Well, Lewis is
He's
here
your black friend that you can talk to those things about?
Well, he does a show called Race Wars, so I would assume...
He does?
So
That's still a thing?
So I save up some black stories.
I thought Race Wars had ended in this country.
We have a CVS employees hiding. Did you hear about this?
No, let's hear it.
Hiding... and they called police after...
Black guy flying in.
After man asked about sliced cheese.
How's it going, man?
Hey, just here for some black stories.
What's happening. He needs to talk to a black guy.
Lewis, I follow you on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Which Instagram?
Why, he has two too?
Yeah, he has.
It's a thing.
Oh, he has his cowboy one.
Yeah,
that's
I
the
don't.
good
I don't
one.
go to the cowboy one. I don't think. I go to the one where you do the stories.
Okay, yeah, that's Instagram.
You're a big. No, I know it's Instagram, but it's not the cowboy one, right?
Right, yeah.
It's this one where you're looking like you could be a problem.
Yeah, that one. That's my personal one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
So I noticed something about your Thanksgiving pictures.
Okay, go ahead.
You're the only one.
I was the only one.
The only black person?
The only black person.
The only one.
Yeah.
He looks like he's holding them hostage.
Home invasion.
I was like, he's the only one. How does that feel?
It's a little crazy, but I'm okay with it.
First time
It's all
that
right.
happened?
No, it just happened a million
Everyone
times.
seemed
yeah.
extremely happy
Yeah.
in the picture, and
Yeah.
you can't fake that shit.
Yeah, that was before dinner.
So, what?
Then it went really fucking bad.
That conversation at dinner?
No conversation. My girl's grandmother brought her brother over, Uncle Ed.
Uncle
Wait,
Ed.
your grandma brought her.
The
wait,
girlfriend's
girlfriend's
grandmother
grandmother. So, oh boy,
brought Uncle Ed over.
old racist.
No, nice guy, great guy. We had
Did it go bad because it went racist?
Let him tell the story.
I'm getting excited.
You'll get even more excited when you hear it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we talked at dinner. Everything was great. He went to leave, and then the car comes back around. He's not breathing.
Oh.
So, former EMT Lewis runs out there. It's been like 6-7 years before I've done anything. I really haven't done anything. And I feel for a pulse, and it's light. We're talking like 30 beats a minute at the most. Like
How old's this guy?
70, 72.
Okay.
Call the police. Ambulance. Takes them like 5-6 minutes. I start CPR. I'm feeling for a pulse. Trying to help him. Dies right there.
Wait,
Yeah.
you had someone died at Thanksgiving?
Right after dinner. So the rest of the day was kind of shot. Enjoyed my Jameson. Police and ambulance showed up. You knew when the ambulance showed up that it was over because of the look they gave each other. And they were just like, okay, yeah, we're going to keep working on him. We're going to keep working on him.
Oh, whoa.
There were only 2 cops on duty that day and 2 ambulances on duty that day. We're talking North Grafton, Massachusetts. The police officer had to drive the EMTs and paramedics to the hospital because they had to do CPR. They both had to take turns doing CPR on their way to the hospital.
Even though he was gone.
Pretty much. Because you know why? The entire family standing
family is
outside.
there.
We're all looking. We're all nosy, trying to, figure out what's going on.
Did they have a defibrillator? Did they shock him at least?
No. Not from what I saw.
Did he give him mouth to mouth?
No.
You're an old EMT guy.
No.
They say that's not, it's just about keeping the heart moving,
Yeah,
right?
you just got to keep that going.
All right.
But the first time they don't give him the paddles, I'm thinking, he's gone.
Right.
You're just doing this for us.
For us. Yeah. Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did
Wow.
It sucked, man.
Did you have one brave family member that just went, so who wants dessert?
No, not at all. We
You all
kinda
went inside, and what happened?
Just kept drinking, talking, trying to.
Did you at least watch football?
Watching the late game?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I saw the Cowboys kick some ass. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It made me feel a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was fucking happy. But
Doug, you have this figured out. No holidays. You don't have to deal with
Oh
this
yeah,
shit.
nobody died on me on Thursday.
He went to a movie with his mom. He didn't have to deal with this. Was there a lot of crying?
a lot.
Oh,
I bet.
I'm sure there was.
He's a nice. We already heard he's a nice guy, not a racist.
Yeah, it was rough.
So when was the last time somebody died on you?
During my EMT clinical trials, I was working at Robert Wood Johnson in Somerville, and you have to do clinicals where you kind of learn what to do during a code blue or anything like that. And a lady died right in front of me. I was trying to give her CPR as well, but I was a student at that point, and she didn't make it.
Can I ask the staff of this fine radio show why this wasn't written down on any prep sheet? And why are we talking about this at 5:35?
Because
Me and Doug spent 20 minutes talking about Home Alone.
If I can I throw it back real quick?
How many
about Home
times?
Alone?
How many broken bones, and how many times would they have died going through all this stuff that Kevin
Can I just
McAllister
real
does
quick to
them?
bring it back to Home Alone?
Yeah.
If you
Please.
saw the first one,
Yes.
after they got Macaulay Culkin and they had him like tied up, they were gonna take his fingers off or whatever.
Yeah.
The old guy comes in and saves him.
Right.
But in the next scene, he's back. Macaulay Culkin's back home alone in his house by himself. Like, the dude didn't take him anywhere. He literally
Right.
saved him and then took him back into his own house and just left him there. Next time you watch that part. You'd be like, what in the fuck is going on? Why would you save the kid and then leave him at his own house again?
I guess you're over a dude dying at Thanksgiving, and then want to move on to talking about
And the
Home
kid
Alone.
protected his house pretty well.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
seemed pretty safe there.
In the end, it worked out.
You didn't rush in here at 4 o'clock to talk about the dead guy at Thanksgiving, but you're dying to get the Home
The Home Alone part
story.
in there. I didn't want to interrupt, If you asked about Thanksgiving, I was going to mention it.
Turkey was good. Uncle Ed died.
Uncle had passed, yeah.
Pass right in front of you guys.
Right in front of everyone.
So they were driving away. They were done.
Pretty much.
And then they drove back around because they're like, oh my God, we got a major problem here.
And all I remember.
And what were you thinking? Oh, they must have forgot their coat.
Yeah. And someone came in and was like, do you guys have the phone? We need to call 911. What do you what?
Wow.
Well, so no cell phone in the car to call?
No, they were a little bit older. But it kind of sucked. I'm not going to lie to you. It was it's pretty fucking awful.
Still want to do the Black News?
Huh? Yeah, now you fucking put a whole Homer on a Black News. You could talk about Home Alone 2 for a while, I guess. Eric? Oh, I thought you were reaching for the mic. No. Secret messages.
I said make sure you have the live read. You must know.
For the people that don't know, there's a screen. I can see E-Rock, and sometimes he leans into the microphone and says stuff. And he had to tell Paul something for the live read. Well, Lewis, that's great.
Well, you win. You won the Thanksgiving Story Award.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was bitching about freaking cat and dog allergies. Who cares?
Yeah, that one's going to hold you for a while.
I made a pie cake.
Like, you have a story for every Thanksgiving from now on.
Right.
Yeah.
Hope it's not like last year.
Well, yeah, remember when that happened?
Right.
Oh boy! And everyone just knew you had experience, so you were the first one to try to
run
revive
out
it.
there and help. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone just got out of the way because they knew.
They all just stared at you to be the hero.
Yeah, you know what? He's had a lot of issues in his past, and one of the last things he said was, "Can you get me my next oxygen tank?"
Yeah.
So he changed his own oxygen tank.
Yeah.
And then when I go out there and I grab the oxygen tank to look at it, it's empty.
Right.
And that's kind of where it went south really fast. So I don't know if he did it mistakenly, like made a mistake as far as the airflow.
Right.
But they drove down the street and drove right back, and was there pretty much.
Was there a point where you're looking at everyone like, I got this?
Opie, for a split second, I thought I was going to be the fucking Negro of the year, bro. I was like, yo, we love this dude.
There's Lewis on the front lawn, rolled up his sleeves.
Like, I got this. Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what to do here.
Dr. Jerome.
Wink, 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 wink.
Man.
That's horrible. I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah. You went from trying to help him to killing the guy.
Yeah, really.
Right there in front of everybody.
They'll never ask you to help again.
Nope, can't even carve a turkey around here.
Oh, my God. Is your girl all right?
Yeah, she's a little shaken.
Yeah.
But she's okay. She's okay. They're all okay now. It was one of those things where he had maybe...
I'm looking at the date.
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the date. Sometimes that takes a good year. They're okay now. It's Monday.
He's coded a few times.
So they kind of knew that he was
on his way.
On his way. People were hoping it wouldn't be during Thanksgiving before the pies hit the table.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Black news, everybody.
At least Uncle Ed didn't have to deal with Black Friday.
True.
You didn't have to.
True.
The crowds and stuff.
Yeah, because that could be a pain in the ass for anyone.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone do the Black Friday?
I didn't.
No.
Eric raising his hand. You did it?
You went out teeth shopping?
Are you addicted to it? I sort of understand it. People get really excited.
I've done it for the last 6 or 7 years. Yeah.
And what's the excitement about it?
Well, this year I finally realized there's no point to it anymore because you used to go for, depending on if you were looking for something very specific, it was worth going, or if you wanted just to see the madness and fights and all that stuff, it was great too. I started to see last year that it was calming down, and then this year it's like they've totally eliminated all those problems.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because now it's not just like opens at 6, and then at 8 o'clock there are different deals. Then 10 o'clock there's different deals, and midnight is the big deal that they've been advertising, and that's when everyone goes crazy. Years before that, they were only opening at midnight. Now opens at 6 o'clock, and it lasts 4 days.
So did you go Thursday at 6 o'clock last year?
I went Thursday at last year. No, I went like after 9 o'clock
at night.
Yeah.
Well, now it's just a thing to be seen at. That's it.
It wasn't to be seen. I go by myself.
No, I mean, for a lot of people, maybe not you personally, but I was at my second Thanksgiving dinner, and all my nieces were getting excited because they were being picked up to go check out Black Friday. And they're not buying anything. They're not looking for any deals. They just want to, just feel the energy of the whole thing.
Everyone's going to the mall, so let's go.
Right.
It's an event.
Well, we didn't have the stampedes like we've had in past years. We only had 2 shootings, one in Reno and then one somewhere else in a Walmart parking lot over a parking space. But usually you'd get the one in Brooklyn, and there'd be people just running over each other.
Right.
And that didn't happen this year.
But now they open up at 6 o'clock. The sale lasts 4 days. There's only certain items that are in-store only sales. The rest you can just get through the store's apps or online. So you're only really going to the store now for those certain items that aren't available online. But it was just so tame. You walked in, there was no problem parking. It was easy to get a cart if you were walking around. There wasn't any crowd. And I went to 3 different stores, and it was all the same.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Yeah, what'd you get?
I bought stuff for me. I bought a...
Oh, so it's a surprise? You can't say?
No, I can't.
You can surprise yourself?
I wrap it up so yes.
I got stuff for me.
I like to treat myself. No, I just went and I bought one thing for somebody, but the rest was for me. I just took advantage of, because you don't need Blu-rays and DVDs anymore, but they're so dirt cheap. You get the code for ultraviolet. So I was buying DVDs from like $2 to $4 just to get the codes and have my whole add to my digital library. That was about it.
Oh, okay. Lewis, one less present this year.
That is true.
Silver lining time.
Silver lining.
Virginia CVS employee hides. A bunch of employees hide, yes, and call police on black customers looking to buy cheese. Did you see this story?
What?
You didn't hear about this?
I didn't hear about this either.
I wanted to do this with Sherrod, but he overslept today. But he's going to be here an hour early
I love how
tomorrow.
you're like, I'm going to see a black guy today. I know just what to talk to him about.
Well, let's run through this real quickly.
Only on 8 tonight, 3 men denied service at a local CVS in Carytown.
Instead of checking out the customers at the counter, employees called the police and hid in the store.
8 News reporter Jonathan Costin talked to 2 of the customers who are still baffled.
Send the black guy for the black story.
The 2 men I spoke with didn't understand why they couldn't go into the store and purchase items. Instead, they had the police called on them. Something strange happened to Rick Berry and his roommate Philip Blackwell when they went shopping in this Carytown drugstore last night. And Berry asked an employee for one thing.
Sliced cheese. All I asked was for sliced cheese. And she told me that they didn't carry it.
And Berry said before he knew it, the 2 employees just vanished.
We looked around for about,
Jesus.
That is so weird.
Jesus.
Like, the people listening right now do not know how just nice and normal this guy asking about the sliced cheese looks.
They look totally normal. You wouldn't think twice about by their looks. We don't racial profile here, Lewis. Don't give me that fucking look.
Yeah, it's a little skeptical, though. Everybody's always dressed nice and talking, normal when the cameras come back around after everything happens. Just saying.
Oh,
just saying. I don't want to call anybody out just yet. Right. But let's just keep an open mind.
You're saying they cleaned up for their
they may have cleaned up.
With ABC News?
100%.
What may they have said?
Y'all got some fucking cheese in here?
Okay.
I'm just saying. Y'all got some cheese? Who goes to CVS for cheese? Think about that shit. That's fucking weird, right?
And they only ask for 1 slice.
Yeah, see, sliced cheese. Black people don't even fuck with sliced cheese like that.
Cheese, and then they probably winked,
Yeah.
I thought I heard it differently where they asked for 1 slice of cheese.
Yeah,
it's not sold that
How
way.
much is
lingo.
1 rib?
Just where's the sliced cheese, man?
All right, let's go back to this.
You don't really go to...
We're getting the black perspective here. I like this.
We looked around for about, I want to say 30, 45 minutes, and we couldn't find anybody.
A 3rd customer was also in the store.
He was actually in the store before we were.
Okay.
Yeah. And he had a bad tooth. All he wanted was some Orajel. That's all he needed.
Can you pause?
30 to 45 minutes you're wandering around a CVS.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm with Lewis and
You can't find anybody. I love that they hid for that long.
Yep.
They're in the back. They're still out there. The cheese bandits are here.
Right.
Hurry up.
It's your turn Take a look. Are they still here? All right, I'm with
This
Lewis.
guy's great at acting pretty chill and normal, though.
I'm with Lewis now because I'm studying this guy's shirt. I know black people take care of their clothes, Lewis. I
Right?
understand that. But this guy looks like that is a brand spanking new shirt that he bought for his ABC interview.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
Go back. Push play.
And then the employees disappeared, and we all just became part of some weird event.
Eventually, Barry says police showed up. The customers and the police worked together to find the missing employees.
He was laughing with us because, we were like, this is how, weird movies start, like weird apocalyptic movies start, just joking about it.
And Barry shot his own Snapchat video that shows officers trying to find the employees.
Someone called the cops on us.
Eventually, the
He
officers...
does look scary.
Yep.
He looks
What did I say?
scary.
What did I say?
Lewis for the win.
Yeah, someone called the cops
Well
on us.
done.
Yeah,
Just
all
put
right,
it this
nigga.
way: if you were into that racial profiling,
Bullshit. I can tell you what happened right now. We can finish the video, but I know what happened.
all right. But if you're into the racial profiling thing, you would be a little nervous by this guy, wouldn't you, Lewis?
Hell yeah.
You could say we can't.
You would cross
say
the
it.
street. We would all cross the street.
All right.
So I'm just saying.
I love that they're trying to find the employees.
Eventually, the officer took another phone call, and that's when the three customers were...
Being kicked out because they were scared of us and they were hiding.
Well, I'm letting you know you gotta go.
Just told us that we needed to leave the premises or else we were going to be arrested for trespassing. And that completely flipped the script on all of us, and we had no idea what was going on.
All right, Richmond police told me...
Can you
today
stop before this guy does his dumb wrap up from the studio? I hate when they do that. The guy's clean shaven now and shaved down his goatee too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's got a whole new clean look going for his.
Kind of looks like a model now
for his interview. But it still makes me. It's still kind of as scary as he looked. It's kind of weird that they all just hid.
40 minutes.
There's always another side of
And
the
that
story.
these guys were but there's.
What else did they say?
There's got to be cameras all throughout the store.
True.
And when those cops did come in, the cops did have to help find the people that worked there. That part's true. So they certainly didn't. The cops didn't get any vibe off of them that they were a threat. But yeah, let's hear the wrap up thing.
I would have
statement.
Well, I would have hid in the school supply section.
I don't get it.
It's an homage to Chris Rock.
Lewis liked it.
It was great. Can I tell you what happened?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
There's a former employee
going
there.
for the water.
There's a former employee there that used to sell weed out of that. The code name is Sliced Cheese. He got fucking fired, and those people don't want to get fucked up by him outside of the store, so they hid. They came in asking for sliced cheese. That's code for something.
Oh, they know that guy's going to be mad at them.
Right.
Like the pizza party thing on the plane going to the Kitty Island that Clinton was on.
Wait, but sliced cheese could have just been his line to the reporters. They could have never even asked for sliced cheese. They might have just straight up walked in there and said, where's so-and-so? Or
Wait, no, you have no info. This is what you're thinking.
I 100%.
He's worked this out.
100%.
I think he's got it.
I'll tell you why. I used to live in a rougher part of Newark.
Yeah.
And certain bodegas you can go to and buy weed. I'm in a sliced cheese. Excuse me. I'm in a bodega one day. I pick up a grapefruit, and this guy comes like through a hole in the wall, and it's like, "Hey man, what's up? You buy from me before?" Yeah. He's like, "How much you want? A dub? What you want?" I just want this grapefruit, player. He's like, "Oh, all right, my fault." Disappears.
Wow.
Disappears.
All right, let's go.
This is what this is.
Let's see what they say back in the studio.
All right, Richmond police told me today they did get a call last night regarding people acting suspiciously inside. Also, there had been a disturbance at the same location earlier in the day. In the meantime, I spoke to a spokesman with CVS by phone today. The company is apologetic for what happened to the men, and they're going to speak to the employee to determine what happened. Jonathan Costin, 8 News.
Listen to the audio in that studio.
It's almost like we don't have the full story, but here we go. Like they're telling this kind of partial story.
They were hinting like there's more to this, but they weren't brave enough to say what Lewis just said.
Lewis has it right there.
Wow, good for you, Lewis.
Yeah. Sliced cheese, everybody.
I have one more black story that I was going to do with Sherrod.
Okay.
The Brooke Baldwin breaking down after guest uses the N-word.
Oh, yes. It's a good one.
I know it's a good one. You want to play it real fast? Did you see this?
I don't believe
Lewis?
I've seen this one yet.
Let me cue
Oh, Brooke Baldwin. You like Brooke Baldwin there of Stuntbrain?
Luckiest woman alive. She was in the studio doing showbiz reports when Rick, what's his name, melted down and said the Jews run the banking industry.
And then they said,
they said, you're fired. Brooke, you take that spot.
Wow. She does all right.
She Wally pipped him.
All right, let me see this for the people out there.
So then would they continue after?
Yeah. Go to the other clip. Her eyebrows,
But
her clown
black
eyebrows
guy,
go right up.
And the black guy, his eyes just went wide open.
He said some other shitty things in there, and they were totally cool with everything else he said, right? They weren't
I just
shocked.
think you have to. I think the protocol is to say the N-word, to not just say it like that, even though you're saying someone else said it.
But it's
he's still a white guy on the news.
But so you just say N-word. Everyone knows what you really
right? They
want
know, but at least you're not.
Let me see how this plays out. This is
Gotta
great.
quote properly.
Yeah, push. We're running out of show, so go.
It's right there. It says
we have to look forward.
It's shameful that any African American would support this man to be Attorney General.
Sir, you don't know why. You know what? I don't question your allegiance to the people that you support. I will tell you why I support Mr. Trump, who's the president-elect, because I think he's going to do good things for this country, and particularly good things for my community.
How do you feel when?
All right, gentlemen, we're done. We're done. I appreciate both your voices. I am still. The more I've sat here and listened to the fact that somebody used the N-word on this show, it is not okay.
Someone, who are the suspects? There's the black guy who likes Trump, and then there's this white guy.
Why'd you stop it there when she started crying? Because we're running out of show?
Yeah.
Fuck the running out of show. Give me the last 15 seconds of this thing.
I think you have a live read.
Guardian today went so far as to prosecute
Charles, just hang on a second. I appreciate you going through all of this, but please don't use the N-word on my show.
I'm sorry. Well, I never use the N-word except when I'm quoting someone who's been appointed by the president to serve in the Oval Office, since this is such a disgusting moment in our history.
Let me go back to my original question. Currently, the fact that Mr. Trump...
All right, back to the music. Thank you, Uriah. She really broke down there at first.
She was crying.
All right, we got to do the plugs real fast. Real fast. Doug, go.
DougLovesMovies.com. All my stuff is there. And thanks for having me today.
I love doing radio with you, Doug. Come back and see us soon. Stuntbrain.
TheBlaze.com, The Blaze Radio.
All right. And Lewis, promote your Cowboys Instagram.
Yes, at Cowboys_HotFans. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan and you'd like to get a whole bunch of followers in about an hour, just message me.
All right. And that's it, Eric. We're good.
New episodes of Roland's Food Court and It's Eric Nagel up on SiriusXM On Demand.
Beautiful. See you tomorrow with Sherrod Small, who's going to be an hour early. Oh, I'm going to do the post show on my Facebook Live.
Ooh, fancy.
Let me pop that on right now. We'll see you guys.
Put your pants on, please.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.